Uh, I've had a rough, how many hours has it been since I attempted this? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've had a rough 7 hours. Before that, I had a wonderful maybe 2 or 3 hours, like, doing commission work, helping a dude who wants to communicate better with his church. And that was lovely. I had a really good time with that. That's kind of like fulfilling stuff that I enjoyed doing in terms of commissioned work, especially when the person that I'm talking to is super duper interested in improving the way that they can communicate ideas, or they're really seeking me out to help answer questions that they're having, and we can collaborate and work together on solutions to that. That felt really, really good. And I'm really going to have to try and hold those couple of hours in my mind when trying to kind of recenter myself about what we're going to talk about today. I had a very rough day. And it's because of this stupid fucking company, dude, and their stupid fucking app, and their stupid fucking... Well, I'll try not to be mean to these people, but honestly, their unhelpful support team. We'll get into this. We'll get into all of this today. I'm going to be leaking DMs. I most certainly am. I'm going to be leaking messages. Wow, thanks. Let me make sure that actually that's on top, the alert box, because it's not right now. I was very aggressive and I put this on top of everything. My apologies for that. We're going to have an awful stream today. We're going to have a rant stream. I'm going to be mean. I need you guys to understand that I love you, okay? I do love you, but it's like I'm getting drunk and I'm going to beat you, okay? I am going to get drunk and I am going to beat you. So if you don't want to be in the house right now, you should probably leave. If you're going to try to trigger me, you are probably going to get timed out, and I shit you not, for like 200,000 seconds. I don't care if that's 52 hours. I don't care if that's like 10 days. You're going to be gone. I don't care. That's the number today. And I might bump it up to 400,000 if I'm getting pissed. So if you're a Destiny viewer, you're probably used to that kind of abuse. But if you're a common Booksmart streamer, maybe not. Maybe not. So this is not the stream to try to trigger me, people. It's really not. It's really not. I'll preface the entire thing with that. So if you don't want to be abused in the chat, you don't want to get timed out for being a shithead, you're rolling the dice at this point, and I'm not going to feel an ounce of remorse. I'm turning off the switch in my brain. I'm going into sociopath mode. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be ruthless, and I'm not going to give a fuck a day from now or a week from now or however long it takes for you to come back and complain about it. I am going to ignore any ban request forms that are coming out about this particular stream. I'm pulling out all the stops, so this is your final warning to leave. And if you miss this warning message at the beginning of the stream, oh well, we can do Duck or Z and you'll be back when you're back, okay? Because I don't care. I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to grab a beer, and then we are going to get into it, okay? How does that sound? Does that sound good? That sound good? Bruises are a mark of love. Yeah, depending on where they are and what made them, for sure. I will not pretend that this is love. What you're about to receive has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with hatred. Hatred, dude. He's going beast mode. I most certainly am. We're in a new setup to go along with this. I don't want to sit at the desk and get angry, because I'll smash. And we all know what happens when I smash. I break things, and I don't want to smash. So I'm on a soft couch. I'm not going to mic from PA it. I'm not going to smash the couch, so we don't have to worry about that. That's what I'll say about today. That's all the context. All right, so I'm going to toss you a really fun track that has at least something to do with today's stream, titled Emotional by Jacob Sampson. If you've spent any time here, you're probably aware of it. Check out Jacob Sampson on Spotify. I'm not sure, SoundCloud. Not sure if this track has made it up there, but you can enjoy it there. Okay? I'll be right back.
If you hold me down, then I'ma treat you nice. I need a businessman with a dope boy chain. A businessman doing dope boy things. Off the muscle, like flex, yeah, I love to see you hustle. I'm emotional, you know I can't let you go. I'm emotional, don't wanna see you in no hole. I'm emotional. Come on, baby, talk to me. Break it down for a chick with some money, yeah. Come on, baby, talk to me. Talk to me. Break it down, yeah. Boss shit, get a chick with some money, yeah. I'm stingy with my man, like I'm stingy with my homies, yeah. Go ahead and tell me that you love me, baby, tell me that you love me. I mean, don't you be scared to call me. Baby boy, you should get to know me. Yeah, true, I ain't never lonely, but you should try to be my one and only. You've been on me for so long. What's my moon night alone? I might not pick up the phone, but I still want you to call me. I'm emotional. Hair done, nails done, heels high, I'm fly. New bad switch, I'm dripping hot. Hair done, nails done, heels high, I'm fly. New bad switch, I'm dripping hot. Pretty.
It's time. It's time. Let's just be real. It's time. Hello. We have some not so fun things to talk about today. It's going to make me mad. And if you missed the previous disclaimer, well, rewind. Because we're not going to have fun this stream. Today we're drinking the classic, the working man's beer, de Bove. I don't care. We're gonna do that, and I'm gonna smash a lot of it at first, and then we'll get into this. Okay? I've had a problem with Streamlabs. I've had a problem with IRL streaming, and then I had a problem with a member of my Discord, and we'll talk about all three of those things today. Okay? We'll get into that. Give me a moment. If you're drinking at home, smoking at home, anything, tokes to you. If I could be smoking, I would be smoking, but unfortunately that's an illegal and banned substance here, so I'll be drinking instead. It's the next best thing. Okay. Where to begin? So let me bring up the chat so it's huge on my monitor here. Chug smarts indeed. What's wrong, bud? I'll explain that to you, but let me go ahead and start out with Hope Smarts, a guy who thought he could do it all. So I was stoked. I'm stoked about content, about life, about my career. I'm a professional streamer. That's great. That's lovely. What a fun job. I do have a lot of fun with it. And, I had been meditating on the purpose of it. How can I refocus the content? How can I make sure it's more monetizable? How can I make sure that it's more economically feasible? How can I make sure that I could do more with this brand, with this identity, with whatever? And what does it mean to do more? For what purpose? Not no tamani. For the weebs at home. Why? Mokuteki wa nan desu ka? What's the purpose? What's the plan? And so I thought and I thought and I thought, and I'm like, well, the advice I give to people to kind of limit that sort of soul-searching endeavor is to look at what's in front of you. What are the next steps? What's the general direction you want to go? And then what's available in front of you? What do you feel obligated and responsible and accountable for? And I thought, hey, here's some cool opportunities. While I was talking with Michael, the marketing guy, on Monday, I was talking with him, and we were kind of going back and forth about the things that we could do while I'm in Europe. One of those things is IRL streams, right? And there are plenty of very interesting people that have reached out to me. They've shared their Pornhub names. They've offered me IRL backpacks. They've offered to put me up in their country and feed me and do whatever with the promise of not being a serial killer. They're very funny people. And over the course of meeting quite a few of them, I've discovered that, like, we could probably do a stream with at least a few of these people, and it would be very interesting. For instance, the last person that I hung out with was a Viking, a certified Viking. I'll call him a Viking. He probably wouldn't call himself a Viking. He probably wouldn't go that far, but I will. He does reenactments and stuff like that from about the period of time where there were Vikings. And so he's dressed as such. His hair is all shaved on the sides of his head, and he has the big ponytail with golden locks, you know. And he's like an imposing dude. He's kind of like, so he passes as a Viking in my book. Very interesting fella. His friends are really fun. They knew a bunch of memes that in English and Polish and let me in on them. We learned about a bunch of fun music and stuff like that I for sure want to show you when I'm in a better mood and I can talk about it. There was just so many interesting things about Polish culture, about the language, about just a ton of stuff that I learned while I was with him, and I really enjoyed it, and I would love to share him and maybe some of those people, if that's possible, with you guys and ask them questions that you guys would be interested in having answered, and do an IRL stream that would be us going around and maybe drinking or exploring their little town and doing the things that I was able to do and see the things that I was able to see, and just bringing that kind of joy and pleasure to you guys. And beyond that, being able to interview people who are very knowledgeable about the place that they live or very knowledgeable about particular things. I have a lot of people who have reached out from universities and from delegations and government of different countries, and all of these people have offered to talk with me. All of them want to be really, really, really good representatives of their country, and they want to share that with us. So, for instance, the fellow who we will be staying with in Switzerland for about a week, maybe a little bit more, he is somebody who is in love with Switzerland so much and has worked kind of in parallel to the government for long enough that he actually wants to work to be a proper diplomat for the country of Switzerland, and he's taking exams to do that. That's why I can't go immediately. I got to wait until after he's done with one of those exams, of which there are quite a few, and during that time, he'll have the energy and attention to really help be a good ambassador for the country. And in return, I would be a good ambassador for the country on my own stream and share the stuff that was cool. And in a similar way, I think that the guy that I met who was out in Pluk, he was also a really good ambassador for, I think, Poland and for what's going on here and for the people, and finding more of those really good ambassadors and highlighting what I thought was interesting about our personal interactions, maybe at the end of a stay with somebody, doing an interview with them where I talk about the stuff I found was most interesting, taking notes about that the entire time I'm doing the stay. Now, that's all wonderful. That's cool. That's wonderful ideas. However, as a streamer, there are always technical hurdles which you must overcome. And yes, we're getting to the rant now. We're changing gears. You feel that? We're not in first anymore, boys. We're out of the neighborhood. We're on the main street. And we're about to fucking speed this shit up. So, what happened? I did this one time. I did IRL streaming one time, and I had a gazillion problems with my phone. The stream would just lag and lag and lag. There were features that I couldn't access in the Streamlabs app. Context, I am using Streamlabs. So I thought, and talking to Mark, the marketing guy, he said that I should probably pay for the premium because not only would that give me access to these features such as dropout protection, but it would also allow me personal communication with an entire support team that exists on Discord. So if there was ever any problems, they could iron those out. Hell, I could probably talk to them before I start the stream and work out any kinks that may have carried over from the stream prior. So I was very hopeful, bright future, tons of fun content to do. Only thing standing in the way is this thing that seems like even if I had problems with it, I have an entire team of people backing me up. So I do it. I pay for it. I go out and do the stream. And I spend a bunch of time at home prepping everything that I could need. I made sure my battery was charged and in my backpack. I wrote down a bunch of notes about the cultural center that we were going to visit. I planned out what a cool title would be. I thought about what kind of frame I could start the stream on that would make for a really good thumbnail. I thought it all out. I packed a Purple Panda microphone that I could plug into the phone so that if it was windy and there were noise problems, we could switch to that. And I had a whole bunch of alternative plans that would happen if the stream was going well. We were going to go to a cafe and talk with each other. We were maybe going to go to the 30th floor of this building to do an observatory thing. We were perhaps going to go to this technological place where I could buy a gimbal if we really hit the goal. I had a lot of plans just in case the stream went really well. I wasn't expecting it to. I was expecting there to be some problems. I'm not a pie in the sky kind of guy, I anticipate problems. But I did not anticipate, oh, Jesus Christ. I did not anticipate the volume of problems that we would run into. I didn't see it coming. 25, thank you, Borio. Thanks a lot. That's getting us closer to what will be a very expensive stream setup. Yeah, $800. That's a fucking lot of money. But you know what?
What the fuck? Sam, what is that?
Thank you for the sub as well.
Some money for the IRL Setup Fund.
Thank you. It's better to pay all that money and spend a bunch of time creating my own software than it would be to either buy an IRL backpack for $2,500 plus the hundreds of dollars a month it takes to run it, or pay for Streamlabs Prime because it doesn't work. And we'll talk about that. So I start up the stream. Let me go grab my phone. I open ready. I made sure all my YouTube information was inputted so we could dual stream to YouTube, which, may I add, is one of the features that you must pay for on that app, along with dropout protection, which we'll get to in a second here. And, these part of my checklist is to make sure that the alert box is in a place where everybody can see it and that the tests work. So
For you in these trying times.
Thank you. So I go open the Streamlabs page to where I could test the alert, and then I open the Streamlabs app, and I realize when you switch apps between the Streamlabs live streaming app and any other app on the phone, Streamlabs starts acting up. And I ain't talking being sexy and slutty on the dance floor either. I'm talking acting up, acting a fool, okay? Fucking up, not working the way it's supposed to work. And so I go, okay, well, not a problem. Reset the whole phone, because that's what it took to get it to start working again. Don't open any other app. That's okay. We don't have to test alerts. I could skip that part. That's fine. And so I go to frame the shot, and I hit go live. Oh, silly me, I forgot. You need to input all the stream information because unlike Restream, you can't do that before you stream on Streamlabs. So I manually enter it in what the title was going to be, and then it asks me, do I want to create a new event on YouTube, use an existing event, or what? So, of course, a new event. Oh, I have to re-enter the title again? Odd. I had hoped maybe it would just let me carry over, but that's fine. Put it in again. All right. And I go live, and the entire app freezes and closes. I frame the shot that I wanted the thumbnail to be, and the whole thing freezes and closes, just crashes. So I'm sweating. I'm outside. People are like, why is this guy holding his phone sideways and pointing it off in the direction? My house. So these are people that might see me later. I start sweating because when I stress, I sweat and it's hot. And so I sweat and I sweat and I restart the phone again. Not a problem. Not a problem. Give it a fair shake. Booksmarts. Reset the phone. Go in the app again. Oh, the whole title that I typed that was in my clipboard is gone. And I didn't write down what it was. I had it entered into a Chrome browser address bar. Don't ask me why. I was in the middle of working on it. So it's gone. And I can't remember what it was. So I come up with a new one on the spot. The time is ticking because my screen needs to be on full brightness, and this constant restarting and starting and opening the app is kind of draining the battery quicker than I wanted. I'm sweating because that's stressing me out. Not a problem. Enter in the new title. That's cool. Go to the next thing. Check and make sure that the stream didn't fucking go live in that moment in a way that I didn't want it to. Thank God it didn't. Oh no, that's something that I forgot. I restarted. Nothing went live, and then had to restart it again because I don't know what the problem with Streamlabs is, why it doesn't run well on the phone when other apps are running. So I restart the phone again, open Streamlabs, enter in the title, manually, mind you, because this time we've recycled twice and I need to come up with something new. That's when it hit me that I didn't have that thing saved. Enter in the new title, yes to all the options, yada yada. I'm zoomed in, I hit go live, and I'm waiting. And I have shaky hands. So I'm waiting, zoomed in, waiting, zoomed in, waiting, zoomed in. There's no indication when it goes live. And I realized that because I'm starting to shake, it's just frozen. Oh, fuck. Is the fucking app broken again? What's going on? So I put the phone down, click chat, try to see if anything's coming up. And then I finally realized, okay, now it's live. There goes my thumbnail. That's okay, I tell myself. That's okay. Go back, zoom in. That's where we're going. Whatever. I didn't get the thumbnail. That's cool. I have no way of checking if the YouTube is live. Hey, here's a little foreshadowing secret. It didn't go live. I go about my day, okay? At some point later in the stream, one of my mods tells me, hey, I hope you don't mind, Booksmarts, but I changed the title. Initially, I was triggered. I was appalled. Revan, why would you change my title? You don't know how much I agonized over that title. And then it's the gears started turning at that moment. Wait. What was the title that it would prompt Revan, the sweetest soul on the mod team, to go in and edit it by hand? I won't realize till later that not only did it not put in the title that I entered, that I agonized over, that I had to rewrite twice, but it also didn't go live on YouTube, nor did it put a title. Just use the default one that YouTube would give you. Now, Booksmarts, how would it have gone live on YouTube, but you just said that it didn't go live on YouTube? What do you mean? Let me explain. The Streamlabs app works in brilliant and mysterious ways. So what it did was it created a new live event on my YouTube page, scheduled it for the exact time that I went live, forgot the title. We can excuse that. It forgot it on Twitch as well, so that's where the bar is set. But it never started the stream. And YouTube doesn't just go, oh, hey, 30 minutes passed when that was supposed to go live. Maybe we should remove it. No. YouTube just keeps it up. So people just pile in and go, what the fuck? Where's my video? I get DMs and messages from people later going, I had you open in another tab and it just never started making noise. Ooh, okay. That seems like a flaw. That's not good. That's one of the bad things. atop the title situation. That's not good either. These are technical problems that I discuss with the team later, with the support team. Support team is going to be the final arc of this little chapter, okay? We'll get to the support team later. Let's talk about what is the experience of using the Streamlabs app once you've paid for the premium version. Well, what's really cool is you get custom themes that don't work. So I get a custom border that will go around the entire stream. That will be a color gradient, sort of matching what I already have, except it's god-awful and ugly. Not really good. It doesn't look very good. So I turned it off about 15 or 20 minutes in. Now, a border, right, by definition, surrounds something. It is the perimeter of it, right? So the border is wisely designed, automatically goes around the edge of what is shown to people live. And you can use the border, therefore, as a guiding tool of how to resize these different widgets to fit within that border. So I resize my dono goal to where the corners fit within that border. I resize my chat box to where they fit within that corner. I resize the alert box to where they fit within those corners. But something that I picked up on before I went live is that when I would switch between the editor view, which is where you edit everything, and the live view, which are different, they're not that way on the computer, but they're different. Not only are these different screens that you must switch between with a menu in between, they aren't the same, you see. They're different in some key fundamental ways. So firstly, when you are resizing elements in the Streamlabs app, underneath that shaded area, it'll show you a preview of what that will look like, what that element will look like, how much space it will take per the the area that you're resizing it for. That's not accurate. And sometimes it just straight up doesn't work. It'll be much, much bigger than it's supposed to be or much, much smaller than it's supposed to be. Sometimes it doesn't even fit within the bounds of the square. And not only that, but when you switch to the live view, it doesn't look like it did underneath the square. It doesn't fit within the boundaries of the square. No. It expands like a kaiju and goes past even the gradient border that is programmed into the app to represent the end of the frame of the screen. Oh no, well that's not good at all. So you would think, I go back in, I resize it more, move it a bit more inwards, and that'll fix it, right? You're just going to compensate for that bigness. But no. Not only does the preview underneath the resizing box not match up, not only does the editor view not match up with the live view, but it also, these size changes have a secret hidden attribute to them. There are limits on how much you can resize this. Are those limits locked in the way they are on their computer app where it'll stop you and say, hey, it needs to be this ratio by this ratio. You can't make it any smaller. No. It'll just cut it off. Not only will it just cut it off, it'll cut it off regardless of the size, just randomly. Because remember, there is no connection between how big or small you make that box and how big or small it appears on the screen. So after fussing with that for a very long time, trying to get the dono bar to just fit at the top of the screen ever so nicely without being cut off anywhere, I give up. So for the entirety of the stream, about maybe a fifth or maybe like a quarter of the bottom of my dono bar is just cut off. Nothing I can do about it. That was the prettiest that it managed to look through all my troubleshooting. Okay. I don't get my thumbnail. Titles don't work. Doesn't go live on YouTube. Dono bar doesn't work. That's okay, That's fine. Aesthetic problems and one big technical failure with the YouTube thing. We're not all perfect. So the alert box, one of the most important aspects of a streamer's setup, one that kind of rewards the viewer, gives their name, a small message, these GIFs that you had to pick and make sure looked good, a sound. what's great is the sound worked good the entire time. While we're trying to, talk about the negatives, let's get a positive real quick, okay? The sound worked really good. Never lagged. You could hear the alerts. They played out of my speakers, so every single Polish person can look at me as an anime girl whines and says, "Cookie!" That worked. But you know what didn't work? The visual aspect of it. And it's random. Sometimes it's way too big. It'll extend maybe halfway past the border of where we can see it because somebody decided to put in text. Not only that, but chatting in the chat or doing a dono or a sub will freeze the entire stream momentarily on a single slide for an indeterminate amount of time. In the very beginning, that could have been anywhere from, as low as 2 to as many as 5 seconds. What's that? Not much. I mean, we can deal with that if that was the only problem. But with every chat message, and as the stream progressed, I got increasingly upset at this delay, at this freezing that was caused by every single chat message. And at one point, one of the subscribers who subscribed had their alert stay on the screen. Let me go ahead and check my notes here for how long it is. Let me do some quick maths, as the youngsters would say. The alert stayed on the screen for, let's see here, from 12:59 in the stream till 21:40 in the stream. 12:59, well that's 13 minutes, and 13 minutes to 21 minutes, well that's 7, I know that. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, about 7, 8, maybe 8 or 9 minutes. One sub stayed on the screen for, just frozen there, taking up a good chunk of the corner of the screen. And I had to beg people to put in a donation or a bits thing or something to get rid of that. And eventually we got that and it disappeared. But yeah, that stayed on the screen for that long. And when the first segment of the video, why is there a first segment, Booksmarts? We'll get to that. The first segment of the video was only maybe 30 or 40 minutes long. So when you're thinking about 8 or 9 minutes, you're thinking about a third of the video, a third of the first VOD. There was just one person stuck in the corner of the screen. And another chunk of the screen was taken up by a dono, thing that didn't look good because it was cut off. And then, mind you, you have the chat in the bottom left corner, which thank God we had a chat. We won't have it later. I'll get into that again. Story for later. That takes up another chunk of the screen, which is good because it takes a lot away from the stream. Every time somebody chats, it lags.
You're so cute when you're frustrated.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. So I don't even know where I was. Let's move past that. Stop talking about the alert box, Booksmarts. We get it. Doesn't work. Not like you got a lot of alerts anyways. I only made $5 on that stream. Not that I'm complaining. $5. I mean, that's like a full sub, and I did have more than one sub. I had like 2 or 3 or something. So, monetarily, not the best that I've ever done, but that's okay. Game streams don't do particularly well either. This is new content, new people. That's great. But remember how I said that there was 2 parts to this stream? One of the things that you pay for that is advertised to you, which is the reason why you would pay for premium on Streamlabs, is to get something known colloquially as, and let me go ahead and open that hellish app to get you the exact description of what this thing is called. But I'll explain the feature to you while I do that. Essentially, if the stream drops out because mobile internet is crummy, and that's very well likely to happen, what it will prevent from happening is the stream dropping altogether, having all your people say F, and having to start a new VOD, having to start a new YouTube thing, having to restart the stream with an entirely new title. It didn't work. And there's no way to troubleshoot why it didn't work, as I will learn later, because it only works with a toggle in the app. You just toggle it on, as simple as that, and you're covered. But like a condom with an intentional hole poked in it, we will find out later that this is a feature that, while advertised, just doesn't work a lot of the time. And there's no way to troubleshoot it. Because you know what? The app, unlike the desktop application, doesn't give any kind of readout that you can give to a debug team to see what the problems are. And beyond that, there is no kind of way to mess around with the disconnect protection the way you can with video quality and things like that. And disconnect protection is the name of it. You just toggle it on and you're good to go. Didn't work. So my entire stream restarted and a new VOD started. And at that point, my mod thought to himself or herself or themselves,
What is that?
I think I'll go ahead and
More than $5 this stream yuck.
thanks. I already did. I got $25. Thank you to that person. So that's when Revan decided to jump in and edit the stream title for me. Thank you for that. And that's when I started piecing together that there were problems going on with the stream itself. Well, we didn't have the title. Interesting. YouTube isn't live. I'm getting hints of this in the chat. Interesting. Okay. Then we start getting a slideshow. Right as I start to approach the cultural building, which, mind you, was the entire point of this trip. It was to walk you over there, talk to you about the facts about the building, go up to the 30th floor, and look out over the city of Warsaw. It's lagging. It turned into a slideshow. What? Interesting. Wonder why that's happening. Can't troubleshoot it on the fly because I can't tab out of the app to Google something. Because if I do, the app will break more than it is already. So that's not an option. That sucks. Oh well, we'll deal with it. Keeps happening. Start to realize it's associated with the chat updating. Not a problem. That's fine. We'll just make sure we have some stills. We go up to the door of the cultural center. Oh, it's locked. Huh. Look inside. The fucking lights are off. Huh. A bunch of people around, but nobody can get into the building. There goes that part of the trip. I guess we're not going inside of the building. That was the purpose of the entire stream. That's okay. Look at these wonderful fountains. Let's check out the Oh, hold on. Let's wait for the stream to go ahead and buffer here. All right, back to 30 frames. Let's look at the There it goes again. Let me go ahead and check my stats here. Bitrate, FPS, solid 30 all the way. Never dipped below 28. Bitrate stayed within a margin of 10 kilobytes per second off of the max bitrate. So no indication that we're having any problems. Might be my phone. Who knows? Eventually, a chatter suggests that I get rid of all of my overlay items. The border that I paid money for, the donation goal that was the whole point of the stream to get a gimbal so that I can actually do IRL streams because I thought that was all that I would need. What a fool am I. The alert box, which is the entire kind of way that you guys get your kicks off of donating and doing things and takes all incentive out of doing that. And my chat. The last bastion of pleasure for even the poorest of Twitch viewers. Mind you, not YouTube viewers. Half of the time, streamers don't even look at the YouTube chat, and the other half of the time, if I'm IRL, apparently the YouTube won't even turn on. So little did I know at the time, but YouTube people were not a factor in this. But needless to say, no more chat for the rest of the stream. Okay. The dono goal was going to be $50 to go to a cafe and chat with you guys, but I can't very well chat with you at a cafe on a one-on-one if I can't see what the chat is, right? Luckily, and here's another positive. Let's come up for air here. We have another positive. At the very least, turning off the chat saved the lagging. No more lag. Cool. Thumbs up. Keep in mind that it was turning off the chat. We'll get back to that later. Because what the support staff will focus on is it must be your bit rate. It's got to be the bit rate, Booksmarts. It's your bit rate. That's what's causing the lag in the frames. Interesting. I won't even get on that. I'll wait till we get there. I'll wait till we get there. We should probably end this whole IRL segment. That's what I'm thinking. So I move to end it. I go out, get myself some spaghetti and coffee, okay, and start DMing or I try to DM them. Here's a whole other thing. I can't DM them because I need to attach my Discord account to my Streamlabs account, and it's not a connection that you could do through the Discord app on your phone. It's something that you need to do on the computer, basically, because you need a separate authentication code and yada, yada, yada. I won't get into the technical complexities of it, but I can't DM them right away, which is what I wanted to do, which is the whole reason that I sat down at the cafe. And I didn't want to bring my laptop with me because I knew I would be sweaty and stressed out and had a bunch of other shit for the IRL, like a tripod in my backpack. And I don't want to bring the laptop. So I don't have my laptop. I'll just enjoy my food and then get home. And I paid a bunch of money so that I'll have support staff that are live and just available to help me whenever. And they'll fix these problems. I don't got to worry about it. I had a bad day. I had a bad stream, but that's all right. That's okay, because we'll fix it, right? That was the whole point. Maybe I should have messaged them before I even went live. Joke's on me, right? That's my bad. They could have fixed everything. We will realize that will not have fixed everything. Let's go ahead and enter into the final arc here, okay, boys and girls. Before we do that, I'm going to check in with the chat a little bit, have a bit of a back and forth with you guys before we go into the support arc. Chatting with the support team and leaking the DMs that I had with them, okay? How are you guys doing? I know I haven't looked at you this entire time, but I'm ranting. This is a rant, okay? Have you heard of the Prime Kai's drama? No. What happened? Enlighten me. What a wonderful taste breaker from this nonsense that we're going through. Wait, Polish support team? No. And you know what's funny about the support team? While we're talking about distinguishing, Polish, American, whatever. The support team doesn't have access to the apps. What do you mean, Booksmarts? They don't have access to the apps. No, never mind. Hold on. I can't spoil it for you guys. I'm meant to focus on you. Primestein. Okay, what's going on with this? We are here for moral support in your punching bags if need be. Well, like Mike, I have a plenty fine couch here that I can punch, so that's okay. I just tuned in. I don't know what's happening, but I'm invested. You could catch up if you can listen at 2x. You could go back. I'm going to take a bit of a breather with my chat here. Even Debo won't help. No, it will not. I'm going to get into bed and get comfy to listen to this last arc. Yeah, do that. Steven seemed to stream IRL in the EU today just fine. Remember what I said, and in case you missed it, the very beginning. This is a stream where if you upset me, I will time you out for 200,000 seconds. And I'm not a man that does math. I fear no number, okay? I won't feel bad about it. I've warned you. If you try to trigger me, I may just do it for kicks. Like the devil. I just ruin people's lives for fun. I'm happy to just fucking ban you for no reason for that long, okay? And when I get real mad, we're going to step that up to 400,000. So play it safe with me, okay? Play it safe with me. Have you met Polish private highways yet? No, I have not. I've only been on buses. The seamless storytelling is making me think you've ranted about this lot. I have not told a soul. I have only mentioned it in a private Discord chat, and that's it. You have way more patience than I would. Oh. We're going to get a sneak peek at Booksmart's level of patience and how Booksmart's implores rhetoric. Whatever. Implore. I don't fucking care. Whatever the right imp word is. I apply rhetoric when I'm asking for things and I'm very upset. We'll see that. You'll see a darker side of Booksmart's. Did you go on any dates and get some sweet Polish ass? I have been on dates. I have not gotten any Polish ass. You knew it was 55 hours, my boy. What was 55 hours? Do you want to know how long to... No, I don't. I don't care. I don't care about numbers. I fear no number. What phone have you? Have I OnePlus 6T? 200,000 seconds is like 2.5 days. Nobody cares. Nobody asks. Askers? Booksmarts, you can't defeat my Bonkai. I don't know what that means. You guys are trolling. I'm going to move on. I'm moving on. We are moving on. Okay? We're all done with that. Let's go ahead and move into the next arc of this story, shall we? Shall we? I think we're ready for it. I think we're ready for it. I'm leaking DMs. I don't care. I'm leaking DMs. I don't care. Oops. That's not the right thing at all. We'll do this one. Wunderbar. Can you read this okay, people at home? I'll ask one time and then I will not ask again. Ones in chat or okays or yeses if you can read this. I will ask but one time. One, yes, it's very small. Well, it and your mom have something in common. Or it and your dad, I mean. Sorry, I get them mixed up. I spend a lot of time with the both of them. Your dad likes to watch. He's just kind of always there.
Sorry, everything sucks. Here's money.
Thanks. Is there any way I can make the text bigger? No? No way at all? I'll read it for you. How about that? I'll put this hot-ass laptop on my lap and I will read it for you. Like a children's bedtime story. Okay? Hey there. I'm having issues getting realistic feedback on the app about my FPS and bitrate, right? Because I had a very rough time with this application. There were a lot of problems where it's like my frames are never dropping, but I can see I'm dropping frames. My bitrate never drops, but I would presume this is a problem with the bitrate. We'll get to that. I am dropping frames and the stream lags when using overlay items like the chat box, but there's no reflection of that fact on the system info window that shows me the FPS and bitrate. I've been told the issue is my phone rendering video by my chat, but I am wondering if there is some way to rectify both the chat box lagging the stream and the inaccurate feedback in the app. Do you have an example of the last broadcast? Also, are you able to tell me devices you're using for your stream? I tell him, I say, I'm using Android app on a OnePlus 6T. In addition to the problems above, it would appear Streamlabs did not use my assigned title that I put in at the beginning of the stream either. It had to be changed once the broadcast started. Furthermore, it didn't stream at all to YouTube. Just created a live event that never started nor took on the title I put in. Sorry for the extra problems. We can work one at a time or however works best, because I have a lot of them coming. When I remove all my overlay items but the camera, the stream was consistently smooth. Did you have a lot of added elements? Wondering if adding a bunch of sources and widgets was causing some trouble at all. Taking a look real quick. Well, that's not a very formal way of talking. I'm off put by that, if I'm being quite honest. I was expecting a more professional tone, but that's a nitpick at this point, because as we will continue, there will be much more glaring problems with this. Maybe not with this person in particular, because they'll give up. But the next person, we will. I had a dono goal, chat box, alert box, and overlay border. Another separate but perhaps related issue, as I'm reviewing the VOD, looks like the stream randomly cuts in and out as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I mean by that. There is the Samsung building. Did you catch that? It was fast. Let's go ahead and rewind the tape and catch that one more time. What happened there, Booksmarts? Let's go ahead and play this one out. What happened there? I'll try to give you guys some views of random stuff along the way. Over there is the Samsung building. Oh! Where did that video go? Where did my audio go? What did I say? What did we look at? I don't know. I have no idea at all. Because it's gone. Without explanation, you see. And I didn't even know that. Because mind you, at this point, I haven't reviewed the VOD yet. Later, I'll watch the whole thing. But I hadn't reviewed it. New to me. Well, I feel certainly bad at this point. Because I'm convinced that these fellas will be able to fix everything for me. So I have to add this to my laundry list of problems that I'm going to have them work through. I've accepted that this is probably going to be a bit of a long process, right? Maybe at least an hour going back and forth with the service people, 30 minutes if there's some basic glaring problem that I haven't addressed. But this conversation with these people, this is yesterday at 8:29 p.m., will go on until 11:30. So from 8:30 to 11:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, I spent 3 hours talking with support staff. That's a lot more than I thought I would sign up for. And at the end of it, well, you saw the beginning of the stream, a picture of Streamlabs with an X through it. Let's continue. Let's not get distracted. Looking at that one as well. What are your stream settings looking like? Are you able to provide a screenshot of those? Well, I most certainly can. My output resolution is 720p. Modest. Of course, we're mobile streaming. Expected frame rate is 30 FPS. Even if it dipped to like maybe 20, I'd probably be okay with it. You know, mobile streams never did dip below that. At least the app wouldn't tell me if it did. Stream status indicator on. That would be the thing that lied to me the entire stream about what my FPS was and what my bitrate was. That's the first problem we're trying to solve. And then the rest of this is not important. Just to keep track of issues, I remember watching the stream, because I'm continuing to watch the stream in the background, there's a large delay between when I get chat messages and when they appear when compared to the desktop. Further, is there a way to make the editor window where you change the overlay items match the stream display? The ratio seems off, and it forces me to guess and check every time I resize or move items because the framing and appearance are not aligned. They say, wondering if the bitrate amount may have been set too high. I definitely recommend toggling that down to see if it continues to cut in and out. A stable connection would play a big part in the chat as well. How delayed was it? Estimate by seconds? Minutes? Well, that's worrisome. Minutes. Has this been a problem that's happened before? Where you would expect that your chat, which is one of the main chat boxes, one of the main features that your company sells or provides to new streamers, your chat would be delayed by minutes? Interesting. We'll get into that later. With mobile, that has definitely been mentioned. Interesting. And you gave me minutes as one of the metrics to measure that by. Fascinating, isn't it? But at this time, there isn't a way to do so at this moment. Interesting. Nearly 40 seconds of delay on the chat. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like, huh? Let's go back to the beginning. That right there, that little clock tower, is where we're going. So that's... you didn't see me, by the way. To Poland, and we're going to head there. I was so happy. Thank you.
Thanks for content.
How much was that? So I can make sure I give you a proper thank you. Anybody have any? Emily, 1980. Thank you so much. Are chats still coming in from the IRL stream? They may be. Let's find out. When I started the stream, mind you, where's what I was just on? I thought, and you didn't, this didn't even make it to the Twitch. I had a cursing episode where I put the phone down. I'm like, fuck, this shit isn't working. Blah, 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 blah. Because I saw a chat message come in about the stream. And I was like, oh, the stream is working, but I have it pointed at my feet because I'm trying to figure out if it's working or not. Then I point back up and I zoom in. I didn't even know until afterwards that I had actually gotten the shot that I was looking for. Not that it would matter, of course, because we didn't get to YouTube that does the automated thumbnails. We were in Twitch. Never you mind. Never you mind. So, ended up getting the shot that I wanted. We're about 11 seconds in. Maybe go to like the 30th floor or something. That's the plan for today. We'll see if we get there and how long the phone lasts on battery. Go ahead and take a look at this. Are we seeing a little bit of a problem with this here? You seeing the bottom of this cut off a little bit? ignore it. That's what I would have hoped that you have done. And everything else. I know that the donation goal in the top might look really, really weird, but I don't know. I played around with it for maybe like 15 minutes. Phone. Uh-oh! Can't zoom on the phone. Wonderful. It was at this moment I realized the zoom functionality on the camera is like the waves on the shores of Belfast. She comes and she goes. She ebbs and she flows. Just kind of sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Sometimes will freeze the entire stream while I'm flicking at the fucking screen, trying to make it zoom and zoom. Okay, so that doesn't work either. That's okay. I'm optimistic at this point. I may have just been sitting in the Slavic fucking crouch position, holding my phone as if I'm trying to record some upskirt action of some Polish women and gotten some weird looks, but that's okay. 15 minutes, what is that in the grand scheme of things, right? Cutting out, we're not hearing what I'm saying. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know. And now we got the lag thing. Pee pee poo poo. Okay, there we go. Now I can see. Pee pee poo poo. What is he talking about? We have no idea because the chat's not on the screen yet. Thank you for your lovely insight. I'll try to give you guys... You also didn't hear when I had asked for people to chat in the chat so that I can know if the stream is working or not. And that person did pee pee poo poo in response to that. None of that made it in because who knows where the first however many seconds, however many minutes of the VOD just didn't make it to... just didn't make it in there at all. Who knows what happened to them? I don't. And Streamlabs doesn't either, as we'll find out later. Some views of random stuff along the way. Over there is the Samsung building. There's that cut. Now, when I made my estimate of 40 seconds, I don't know how much footage was lost in these various cuts of time. This works out in Streamlabs' favor because 40 seconds sounds a lot more reasonable than over a minute. But who knows? Who knows how much time it took me to walk all that space between where that fence was and where the corner of the street was. I know how much, approximately, but you have no idea. Actually, we could try to cross. Oh, shit. Oh, all right, we've made it. But now we're stuck in the middle here. So, wait, where's that pee-pee poo-poo chat? I don't know. Hopefully it'll come up soon. Otherwise, people will just start thinking I'm crazy. Crazy! Going that way, I think, is the correct destination. If anybody can be a super sleuth and... It was at this moment Booksmarts realized another problem. In my hasty preparations, trying to figure out the app and my batteries and researching the location and writing down notes, I had neglected to look at how I would arrive at the location from where I was. I don't know where to go. I don't know how I'm getting there. That'll be the least of our problems. If anything, that'll be a happy little mistake in the grand scheme of things. But I'm starting to worry. I'm sweaty. The app is not working. Things are cutting out. My chat still isn't on the screen. I don't know if the element is working or not, or if it's just not going to have chat on the screen for the entirety of the show. Maybe the only thing on there will be the messed up donation goal. There will be hope for me yet, though. Figure out where I am at the moment and guide me left, right directions. That would be incredible of you. I would. Tough to get left, right directions when your chat doesn't appear, though, no? I really appreciate that. Maybe some landmarks for all you GeoGuessr people. Because I honestly have no idea. Here, I'll turn the camera around while we're doing nothing. Hi! Still no pee-pee poo-poo. Yeah, that's the plan. We'll cross right now. I think we'll go left and then we'll check out downtown before we head to where we want to go. Which again is that tower way over there. What are you doing, Booksmarts? Your finger's on the lens there, buddy. Oh, you see, I'm trying to zoom. Well, the tides haven't come in yet. Not going to be able to do that feature. I can't zoom my camera anymore, but it's way over there. Don't know why I can't zoom my camera. Honestly, this app is like really garbage. That's an understatement, but you don't know that yet. Really, really garbage. Mark suggested that maybe it's the phone. Like my phone's really bad and it can't run it, but I have a sneaking suspicion. What's that, Booksmarts? I can't hear you. Did I say that the audio is perfect the entire time? Well, the bar for perfect, it gets lower and lower and lower. Okay? An ant has to play limbo to try to get underneath that fucking bar. It's real fucking low, okay? So, you know, it's very easy to overcome that little barrier there and to kind of get over it. Yeah, the audio doesn't work all the time. And it stopped working at a pretty crucial moment where audio could have scared a viewer or something like that. Maybe something interesting. I was nearly killed. Because I was trying to zoom and look at my phone and troubleshoot things. I was nearly killed by a tram. Nearly done. Nearly lost my phone from my hand, and I wouldn't even have had the audio to have captured it. Oh, there's pee pee poo poo. Awesome. Woof. We've been waiting a long time on that chat message now, haven't we? Okay, let's go ahead and go back and get on topic here. Nearly 40 seconds of delay on the chat at the start of the stream. I was specific because who knows how long that gets later. What would be a better setting for the bitrate? It doesn't look like we're getting good quality video at the present setting. Would decreasing it hamper video quality even further? I'm not sure I can take a hit to my video quality. It's not looking good as it is. But let's see. It may bring down the quality, but with mobile streaming, a stable connection can definitely be a little difficult to establish. That is quite the amount of delay, though. Yeah, you think? I'll see if I can find anything pertaining to that. I would definitely recommend decreasing bitrate, but toggling stabilization mode may help. When I disable chat on screen and only use the version you get in live view that does not appear for viewers, I got messages in real time. So not sure if that info helps. Mind you, that's how I read the messages the first time, is I was looking at the secret view that you guys can't see where it gives me the messages before they appear on the screen. That's what the delay is. That's why I could read that message before. So there's an interesting problem here where it's not getting to the stream and everybody, but it gets to me just fine. And I say just fine, but who knows what the delay was between typing that message and it getting to me. Impossible to know that, not like Streamlabs would tell me. I got messages in real time, so not sure that if that info helps. Video quality is pretty bad already with the current bitrate, so that's definitely something I'll test, but if it hampers quality a lot, then that's a big issue. Regarding the readout you get of that info in-app, it never dipped greater than 10 below the max bitrate. Is the readout often incorrect, or does that indicate a stable connection isn't an issue at that bitrate? This is a Booksmarts businessy sort of tactic. I like giving an either or that fucks somebody from two different holes, you know? Would you like it this way or would you like it that way? Either way, choo-choo, we're chugging along with this, okay? So is your readout like often incorrect? Or does that indicate a stable connection isn't an issue, like you're saying? There's got to be one or the other. Either your bitrate's lying to me because it says that it never dipped, so the maximum wouldn't matter, or your readout, that thing we talked about just now, was incorrect and is often incorrect. So you can't use it as an indicator of the bitrate of the stream. And you're just going to have to kind of disregard it altogether and still lower that bit rate and not go off of what the app is telling you. And I also ask where the toggle is, what settings it's under. Normally, if people are support, they'll go under blah, 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 arrow, blah, 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 arrow, blah, blah, blah. But as we've learned, these support people are not like your everyday support person. You know, they're not like the other girls. They don't talk like that. This person just dips. They're gone. Goodbye. Never mind. I'm done. With a question like that, fuck, dude, I'm fucking sweating under the collar. Let's get Miss Cattykins in here with your troll animated seizure-inducing avatar. And they're using emotes with me now. Cute. Discord, I guess that's how they do it. Hi there. Let me read up on this for you. One moment. Well, as we learn, this is going to take 3 hours, so I have all the moments in the world to be wasting on what will eventually prove to be a fruitless endeavor. Okay, go ahead. I got all the time in the world. Are you on Wi-Fi or using your phone's data? What a silly fucking question. How about you read as your first message had implied before asking me such a stupid fucking question? I'll answer it, of course, because I have a lot of patience at this point in time, unlike right now. Phone's data. Are you able to try to use Wi-Fi just to see if there is a more stable connection? I mean, I could try next time I stream, sure. Any input about the readout info, the FPS and bitrate? If those are incorrect, is there a way to fix that? Because ultimately, if the gauge that tells us how we're doing in terms of network health and stuff doesn't work, if we don't have a way of measuring that, perhaps it's not wise to go into a test. The Wi-Fi, set that aside. That's okay. They said they were going to read the whole thing. Evidently, they're a multitasker. They're going to keep talking without having read the few fucking messages that are even in this chat room up to this point. But that's okay. Hey, they multitask. That's great. They shouldn't be incorrect, but as I am not a mobile dev, I'm not entirely sure how it works on their end. Thinking. Are you able to provide examples of it being incorrect? When we drop frames on the stream, that doesn't appear to be reflected in the FPS number at any point during the stream. It always is at 29 to 30 FPS. The bitrate should fluctuate as well if the issue was the limit it was too high, correct? Maybe I am misunderstanding what those numbers are meant to indicate or how that works. Another Booksmarts technique. When you're dealing with service industry people. Hey, maybe I'm fucking stupid. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. You know? Maybe. Maybe I framed the entire question incorrectly because of my pure ignorance. Fill me in. I'll open that door for you. Because if I'm wrong, I want to know honestly and faithfully. And if I'm not, you need to shape up. You need to get on this level. Because if I'm talking sense, I need you to start treating me like I'm talking sense. And you need to start listening. Okay? So it's a Booksmarts technique. You can have that one. It could, yes. The FPS might not be dropping too much, but the bitrate may be unstable since you are on phone data. Okay, good to know. So that thing could be incorrect. Good to know. Good to know. Shouldn't be incorrect, but maybe it is. Definitely give this a test with Wi-Fi and see if it shows accuracy. How would I measure accuracy? You would need a system outside of this. If the tool is inaccurate, how the fuck are we going to know if it's inaccurate without comparing it to something that we can agree is inaccurate? These are not the thoughts going through the head of the support person. So, you know, we can't expect a ton from them. Okay, so to be clear, if the issue is connection, then the bitrate should be dropping below the max. Correct. If there is a connection issue, the bitrate will drop. Awesome. I'll do that test next stream and see what changes. Which topic should we cover next? I'm done with this. Okay. So if the connection was a problem, the bitrate would drop. The bitrate never dropped during this thing, and you don't think that it's incorrect, although the possibility exists. The only way we will know is by doing a Wi-Fi test with absolutely nothing to compare it against. Okay. If that's the level of stupid we're operating on, let's move past this. I've just accepted your app probably doesn't work. I know that there are chat delays that you guys are used to that are in excess of fucking minutes. I've heard what I want to hear. How about we move on to another problem? I got a whole basket full of them. It's okay. If we can't solve this, perhaps it is my Wi-Fi or something. I can test that later, but I'm not interested in testing things unless I know that this app is going to continue to work in other ways. And I'm worried because your chat box, which is one of the main things, doesn't work. Your indicators may not fucking work. And it seems like the problem that I'm being prescribed does not fucking match up with the symptoms I'm experiencing or the indicators that you built into the app. This trifecta of evil means that I probably want to move on to a new topic before I fucking blow a brain, a fucking blood vessel in my brain, okay? Let's just keep going. I know I've mentioned quite a few, so happy to talk about them in any order you'd like. I don't want to repeat myself. I have a pet peeve, and I'm frustrated at this point. My pet peeve is I don't want to repeat myself, especially when the person speaking to me took a bunch of time to go and reread everything. You've read it, you know it, go back up. What is the next problem we want to work on in the order you want to work on it? Sure, go ahead and let me know what you'd like to work on next. I said in any order you'd like, but you're just going to pass the ball back off to me? That's cool. That's whatever, Cat Jam. Sure, that doesn't really make any sense because you totally didn't fix this problem for me, but I will ignore the ironic Cat Jam. Okay, cool. Here was the first one mentioned, and I fucking quote myself. This is passive-aggressive smarts. A rare beast to see in the wild, but there he is in his natural environment. I'll put fucking quotation marks, and I will repaste it because I'm not going to fucking repeat myself. Okay? So I copy-pasted what I said earlier. I've just been informed it didn't update my Twitch title either. It was at this point I moved from the title change that Revan implemented in the second half of the VOD, the second VOD we could call it, because remember, they split in a way that wasn't supposed to be possible with disconnect protection. Set that aside, we'll get to that later. I learned that the title in the original VOD was the same title that I had for my previous stream. It never added my title. Clicks. Oh. That's why Revan had to update the titles, because my title that I agonized over in the sweltering heat had never been applied. Interesting. Anywho, so basically, Twitch used last stream's title, and YouTube just created a random event with a random title and never went live. It was at this moment that I then learned that my YouTube had never gone live. Never even took the title. Never went away, just stayed up there. By the time I went in there, it said that there were 3 other people waiting for the stream to start. Maybe just assuming I was running super late. I'm not sure, but it was supposed to start at 5:55, and this is 9:23, so those are a hopeful few, perhaps with just another tab open, hoping that some wonderful bookfucker voice will just soothe into their ears. I take it you are multi-streaming, yes? How astute of you. Yes, I'm trying to multi-stream. That's why I just talked about 2 platforms and the problems I had getting the stream to either of them. Are you able to test going live to both individually and seeing if the title's set? Another one of these little tests. Well, I have an audience of people, and if I go live, it will alert them, all of them. And then we have to do a whole other stream on your shitty fucking app that doesn't work, likely lies to me about anything that it's saying. I know it lies to me about the editor view and what that will end up looking like in the live view. Anywho, liar app. Okay. Do I want to do another test? No, I don't. Maybe for the next stream, but I give the because I want them to know, this is a rhetoric moment, I don't want to do any more fucking tests. I want you to look at the app, ask me the screenshot things, and then you tell me how to fix it. I don't want to fucking test, okay? I'm not a fucking scientist doing the fucking development for your team. I don't care to do that. Give me solutions. I don't want tests, okay? We shouldn't be figuring this out in the fucking back and forth. I should get some fucking solutions. I'm getting frustrated. Maybe for next stream, but that would ping my whole audience. Is there a way to safely test that offline? I'll give him an alternative just to appease him. If there's a way to do it offline, perhaps I will do it later. But again, we have a laundry list of things to get through, and if something requires a test to kind of figure out what's going on, and we'll put it to the end. There's many more that we have to go through. I don't imagine so. Is it a common problem for multi-stream to not update titles? I'm starting to wonder. You knew that chat box could be delayed by as much as minutes at a time. Perhaps you also know that this title updating thing is a common problem. And if it is a common problem, I don't care to test it for you, because it has been tested by users who have come to you and complained about the same issue that I have. And no amount of me testing it is going to make me happy. No amount of testing it individually is going to make me happy. When I paid for premium on the app to be able to multi-stream on the app, and if multi-stream titles don't work, but individual streaming does, that doesn't help me, because I don't intend to do a single stream on your app. I intend to multi-stream because that's what I paid for. And to be clear, yes, I was multi-streaming. It should update. That's why I'm wondering. I'm on iOS, sadly, and the apps on both are a little bit different. Crying cat. So that other person sent you in here knowing that you were unequipped to troubleshoot somebody with an Android device. Huh. It really boggles the mind. If you could screenshot what it says and what you input, that would help as well. Because he doesn't even know what the fucking menus look like on Android. They're different. I don't know how different. Never really seen the Android app. Maybe you could like screenshot and then I can guide you around like that. Then I should have called up my fucking, 15-year-old sister and had her walk me through it, because it's the level of support that I'm getting. You don't know what the fucking app looks like. You don't have a copy of it on your phone. You're running an entirely different operating system. For Twitch, it just took the title from my last stream. I inputted Walking to Stalin's Gift IRL. There was no description, and the title was the same for both YouTube and Twitch. Let me get you screenshots of what it did on YouTube. So this is this. It just copied the same fucking thing over. And then we move to here. On YouTube, it looks like this and seems to be using a default title from YouTube. It set the live time for around when we started, but never actually went live or used my title. My live broadcast. Starting at 5:05. Oh, my bad, 5:05. So we're at 9:50. We're quite a few hours past that. But yeah, still waiting. 11 a.m. What time zone? Pacific, I'm hoping. Definitely not Eastern. 11 a.m. Japan Standard Time? Don't forget to like the stream and set the reminder. He's already live on Twitch. What? Oh, can't dual stream live. Yeah, thanks for filling in the blank with something positive. I appreciate you. That's positivity. That requires a drink. What time zone for 6:05? I hope Book is okay. Aw, it's also very nice of you. There won't be many more of those moments. Let's go ahead and do another drink. Refreshing. All right. What's next? Going to delete the YouTube thing right now so people don't get confused. They already were confused, but I'm being nice in the way that I'm wording this. Another little rhetorical flourish. All good. Interesting. Yeah, if you could try individually, that would be great. I'm not sure if you can go live to a test stream just on YouTube, but on Twitch, remember what I said. I'm here to do multi-stream, and you're asking me to do a single stream. I don't care if it works on Twitch individually with the title, if it doesn't work on the other thing. And unless you have a solution to show me how to make the titles work on multi-stream, this is not going to help me. I'm not interested in it. But I haven't made that very clear, so that's not their fault. If you add bandwidth equals true after stream key, it should just go live to a test stream, not actually go live. Okay. I'll definitely consider that. That's a lie. I'm not going to consider it at all. And if I do, I won't. I'll update the thread. Is there any other help you can give me or info on why this didn't work for both? I would ask about different options or toggles I should have done, but it was a straightforward text prompt that just didn't seem to work. No worries. Personally, I would try that, and then if it does update, I can tell our devs, hey, it updates individually, but not with multi-stream. It was at this point I start to realize what the point of the tests are. You're using me as a guinea pig to get feedback to your developers about their app they created that doesn't work. I'm not interested in being your guinea pig. If you're going to charge me money for features like disconnect protection that straight up don't work, or, God forbid, titles that don't work, or chat bots that don't work, or alert boxes that don't work, or borders that look ugly as fuck and don't work, maybe you have a fundamental problem with your app and with your company and what you're charging money for. Set that aside. Okay. Prior to that, is there info from my app I can provide for debugging my current situation? Like a log file you would get from a normal app or a normal program that you could then give to the developers rather than wasting a bunch more of my time on this conversation, on testing, and on God knows what else you're going to ask of me as your guinea pig. Can I just get a file, a log that I can then send to the developers? I'm sure that would be more helpful to them if they were really interested in fixing the app. That may be even better than some anecdote that you have about a situation in which this didn't work, knowing only what my phone is and what settings I put, which were very, very basic. I haven't given any details about anything really, what version of Oxygen I'm running on my phone, or hell, that it was even Oxygen OS at all. You don't have a lot of info that I think the devs would want. I'm getting the feeling we're at a dead end for multi-streaming and aren't going to arrive at a solution. But if there's any app file I can send over or something to help me, I'm happy to. Let's go ahead and close the store. And on the way out, if there's any kind of document I could give you, I'd love to. Unfortunately for mobile, there is not. Pepe sad. A real serious group of developers intent on fixing things you have over there, where they don't even have that. Interesting. Fascinating. Thank you for that. I appreciate it for the sub. Alrighty. Kind of disappointed so far with how little we're Oh, Booksmarts is mad. Yeah, I am. I'm pissed. Believe me, I was saying some mean shit about this in my private chat with other people, but this is me being tame. Kind of disappointed so far with how little we're able to really do to fix these issues, but maybe we'll have luck on the next one. Uh-oh. Was that hope? Can't have too much of that now, can we? That'd be unhealthy. And so I go ahead and copy paste the next thing because I know this is someone incapable of either scrolling up or maybe even reading. Go ahead and copy paste this about the items not matching between the editor display and the live display. If you need some screenshots, I can get them. Screenshots would definitely help. As I said, unfortunately, I'm on iOS. I don't even know what the Android app looks like. Why don't you give me some insight into that? I know I work for support and you were Android and the other person switched you to me, but I don't know why. I don't even have the app. So I will see if I can reproduce on my end as well. Is there anyone available on Android from the support? At this point, I don't care about being mean. I need somebody that can help me, and you don't seem to be the guy. Do you have anybody that knows Android? Because maybe I shouldn't be talking to somebody who doesn't have the fucking app on their phone. One of my coworkers will be on in around 10 minutes. Well, hell, I've already been on the conversation for so long. Maybe it's better to wait for somebody who may not be competent. Who knows? But they'd at least have the same app. Maybe it's worth waiting for that. At this point, I'm pondering it. So I can have him troubleshoot with you if you'd like. Feel free to include the screenshots in the meantime, though. Sure, let me send you the screenshots real quick, though, and see if that helps. Have you heard of this issue before? How long have you been doing support? Just trying to shoot the shit while I'm waiting. Maybe if I can learn more about them, I can feel better about them, humanize them a little bit. I'm not blowing smoke up your guys' ass when I say that, like, if you're upset with somebody, try to humanize them. What do I do when I do woosah? When Serps pisses me off? When fucking Tail of Two Rabbits is acting like a dumb fuck, right? Humanize them. You know, how long have you been doing this for? You know, have you seen stuff like that? I'm just trying to do small talk while I wait for somebody who might actually be able to help me to show up in the chat. I've been here since about 2018, so I've seen a lot. Omega lol. A lot, huh? This app has a lot of problems. I don't think you realize the optics of such a statement. But, okay. I haven't heard of this issue before, no. Oh, thank God. At least this isn't something everybody runs into, but it probably means you have no solution for me. But I'm definitely willing to test on my end as well, to rule it out being an issue for Android specifically. Again, only trying to fucking figure out for the staff later to recode the fucking app. I'm not interested in helping you with that. I'm not part of your fucking beta trial to fucking figure out how to build a usable app. But anywho, I go ahead and post this picture. So this is what I was talking about before. For those of you who are visual learners, which if you saw the video that from Veritasium that we all watched together, you know that's bullshit. But anywho, here you can see that we have the donation goal. Again, that this donation thing is not exactly the size of the donation goal. That's fine. That's whatever, at least it fits within it. I created an event list thing here, and that appears to be within the boundaries of it, much more than the donation goal is. That's cool. Looks good. What does it look like when we go into the live view? Let's see. Uh-oh. Was ist das? Das ist not good. Oh no, we've extended the boundaries of the border. Well, maybe I was a dumb fuck, you know? Maybe the boxes looked like that. Huh. Doesn't appear like that, and as a matter of fact, it also doesn't appear that the preview underneath extends past the border. That's rather strange. And oh, why did it blow up so big and go past it? Weird. Interesting. So the widgets are way bigger than how they appear in-app. Plus, the way they appear in the editor is not how they look when you exit the editor and go to your live preview. And consequently, for the stream viewers as well. In case this person's a dumb fuck and they can't put two and two together. I keep wanting to bring the viewers into this because this isn't just something that sucks for me. It sucks for everybody that watches the stream who might look at my stream for the first time doing IRL and make a quick judgment on the quality of such a stream, which I'm not going to get into because sob stories about me are not going to fix these technical problems. Does this happen in portrait mode as well? Also, sometimes the widgets are super wonky looking in the editor and then look normal in the other view. Like when I reopen the app, they look like this. Ruh-roh, Raggy! Well, now they're huge! What happened there? Again, for the visual learners, in case you forgot what the other one looked like and you have a memory problem too, like our boy Vosh, looked like this here, okay? Fits nicely. We got some gaps here, big gap here, looking solid. Same size, and it's huge. No. Wow, that's zoomed in. What happened here? No idea. They don't know either. I'll test that. What's your output resolution set to as well? No comment on this fuckery, right? Hasn't changed since the last screenshot of that info. I'm sick of it. If you scroll up, I had already given you what my output resolution was set to. I've given you my frame rate. I've given you all of that information. And it's in a fucking picture. I have no sympathy for somebody who is unable to scroll up. And if I can't fucking put quotation marks, then I'm not fucking saying it again. You can go ahead and scroll up. You can start doing some fucking work. Okay, why don't you also go next door into your fucking girlfriend's room and ask her if she has an Android phone, download the fucking app so that I don't have to go through this rigmarole of telling you as if you're a blind person what the fuck the app looks like, okay? How about you go do some work, do something, okay? You go ahead and scroll up. That's the least that I can ask of you. Also, to resize an item after selecting another, you have to set the item to the highest layer level. or it will keep selecting the camera when you click any corners to resize. So basically, if I click on donation goal and the corners appear, if I then go to click a corner, it will select the background. It'll select my picture here, or it will select the border, which is on top of everything. And it doesn't matter if I hit layers and then I select donation goal and then try to do it. It'll automatically jump to the thing that's on top. So every time you want to resize an object in the app, you have to put the resized object up to the top of the layer list and then resize it and then move it back to its position where it's supposed to be. Annoying, but that's the least of my worries. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like in vertical mode, shall we? Uh-oh. Well, that's not good at all. What happened here? Huh. That doesn't look like how I would want it to. That's kind of funny. Well, at least it's not fat anymore like it is here. And, you know, at least it doesn't extend past the borders there. But, you know, honestly, if we're looking for positives, that's as close to what I intended for this to look like as we've seen so far. It kind of looks like the first one, just vertical. So, what's his response? And this is, by the way, what it looks like when it's vertical. It gets worse. What I set it up to look like vertically, and what it ended up looking like, this. I had set it up to look like this. I resized my donation goal. It didn't change what the preview looked like. It was still fat, which, by the way, is not how it ended up looking here. The event list is just completely missing from the frame altogether. And then it said, fuck it, this doesn't seem to be working. Let's just throw it back to the way it looked horizontal, the way he intended it to look. So that's what it looked like. That's what it was supposed to look like. And this is how it turned out. Interesting. I will test it on my end as well. Oh. It gives me the fucking O GIF. Wow. Android app really does do shit differently. Hold up. Let me go find a fucking Android app. Yeah. That's what I've been dealing with today. I will be going off to lunch soon. I will be going to lunch in a few. So my coworker with Android will be assisting in testing. Let me get him in here. Good to tap out. Bye-bye. That's something positive. I'll count that as positive. Maybe I'll get somebody who at least has the app that I have. They're refreshed. They're coming back from their lunch. Wonderful, wonderful. Alrighty. Can he access all of our previous messages? Hi. One moment while I catch up. Hope you did a better job than the last guy. Hope you read all the messages. Don't ask me irrelevant questions. And I wait. No worries. Take your time. At this point, 10:04. Started this conversation at 8:29. I've been on for what? 1.5 hours with them. I'm already 30 minutes past the max of what I thought this would take. At this point, it may take all night. But I'm involved. I'm invested. I posted a bunch of pictures. I've done screenshots. Fuck it, dude. It takes as long as it takes. I want this fixed, and I want to be able to stream tomorrow. Let's go back down to where we were. So the issue you're having now is with widgets, correct? Yeah. Let's just tackle widgets. Whatever. At least he has some fucking, what do you call it? At least he's taking some initiative and actually picking something. That's already better than last guy. I guess before we get into that, is there anything you can add to the other topics discussed in here? My understanding, and this is to test them, another booksmarts trick. I'm trying to test and see if they read everything so that they could, and I'm also trying to see how their mind compartmentalizes multiple different threads of thought. So if we talked about multiple things and I ask you if you could contribute to any of them, you have a few options. What I'm looking for ideally is you talk about each individual thing that was talked about that you cannot add anything to, say you can't for any of them, so I could just disregard all of them. But in any case, this forces you to go ahead and pay attention to what had happened before and to respond to it in some substantive way, rather than just jumping to, you scrolled up about fucking 2 messages, you saw what we were talking about, now you're going to talk about that. That's what I'm trying to avoid. My understanding is that the only real solution offered so far is to lower my bit rate, right? Only real solution. Everything else has been tests.
1.5 hours, have a stretch, run an ad and get another beer.
Thanks, fellas. I appreciate it. That's positivity. That's another beer drink, brother. The cam is covering all the bottom text in this scene. I don't care. I'm reading it. Fuck off. You know what? Do I have a mod in the chat? Maybe we should I don't care. I honestly don't care. I don't know if it's normal in the streamer world, but support over seemingly personal Discord accounts looks so awful to me. It looks awful to me too. It looks awful to me as well. Okay, I've read your messages. What's your output resolution? Not really, bro. Lunch is coming. Doesn't help any. Leaves. Too base for this world. Please tell us he at least reads them. We'll see, bruh. I don't want to spoil it for you. Okay, I'm going to actually listen to what that person said. Because I'm a cuck. Because I'm a cuck and I don't do what I should. Grab a chicken finger like you know you fucking would. All right, this is how I'll have it, okay? Oops. I'm spoiling. So I said that stuff. My understanding is that the only real solution offered so far is to lower my bitrate. But even then, evidence seems to indicate that isn't the issue, since the bitrate never dropped while streaming. I'll be honest. I'm really disappointed because I just assume they're not reading. They can't read the tone. Maybe they're skimming it. I'll be honest. I'm really disappointed with the app and the inability to troubleshoot or solve so many of the issues so far. I know it's no one's fault here. That's a lie. I think it is. But you say the opposite and you get the point across and don't sound nearly as bad. But if there is something they missed, I'd like to make this work on my phone and not have to give up altogether, which at this point is seeming like what I have to do. I'm going to start threatening just leaving the app because that's where I think this is going. In terms of drop frame / bitrate dropping / FPS dropping, I'd say making sure you have the correct... Here is... Oh man, I need to finish off this beer. The only other positive thing that we're going to get out of this. A problem that was legitimate. The other person didn't even fucking think of. It doesn't take iOS or Android to know this. I'd say that making sure you have the correct ingest server selected before going live. For Twitch, you can pick a specific server. For YouTube, it's not possible as they route the connection instead of letting you choose what server you want. I'd say if you can try 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, you should be better off than 5 gig. That has nothing to do with anything. We had an explicit question in there where we talked about how I am on mobile and I'm not on fucking Wi-Fi. So don't know why that made it in there. That's a bit of a fucking a fart on top of a beautiful cake. But hey, that's what some people are into. I don't personally enjoy it. Largely, these problems will come from the connection quality you have, which, mind you, low-key, the bitrate says it's doing fine. Doesn't address really the... mismatch between what the bitrate is saying, what it actually may be. That's okay, whatever. At least it's helpful advice that can actually give me something I can do to feel like I have agency over the situation. Largely, these problems will come from the connection quality you have, and with wireless, it can be very hit or miss. One moment for what? Who knows? Okay, that sounds good. Where's the setting for that in-app? Again, normally, when you're talking about something specific like that, you would go... If you go to settings, blah, 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 let me know what server that is. Because if the ingest server is, and then you keep going on with what the advice is, normally you would give an actionable path of like how to follow to get to that setting. That's okay. I'm hopeful. This guy said something technical that exists in the app that the other person had no fucking idea about. So I'm hopeful. I'm huffing copium. it should be under stream settings. But oh, wow, look at that. You know how to talk like a normal fucking person that would help me with support. Wow. You have a little epileptic penguin over here. Maybe you're a Linux guy. I'm starting to feel good about them. I'm starting to put pieces together in my mind that this is somebody who's competent and confident. iOS has a different layout of settings than Android, which we are looking on streamlining here soon. I don't know what that comment has to do with maybe defending the last person who has no idea. But okay. That's okay. It's the same on my phone, so I'm good. Haha, it was set to US West, so that's solid advice. Again, the only positive thing to come out of this was realizing that the ingest server was being sent in was marked as US West, not Warsaw, Poland, which is where I fucking live, which was one of the options on the list. So I changed that post-haste. Yeah, I often find having the wrong ingest server selected can be an issue. I had a user in the US default into EU servers, causing huge problems with even getting 1 FPS. Well, good to know that his FPS counter worked. Mine doesn't. Again, you're not going to mention the FPS counter not working, but that's okay. So that should be of assistance. You may want to try multiple ingest servers. Okay, something actionable, something good. Sounds great. This makes me hopeful for the next stream. Does increasing my bitrate increase the quality of the video? Just a slight question. Yeah, it can, but streaming sites will have limits, and it also depends on what your upload is when you're streaming. We suggest not going over 2/3 your upload speed, so if you have 10 megabytes per second of upload, don't go over 6K. Also, Twitch has a 6K bitrate limit. Facebook is 4K without partner, 8K with. YouTube doesn't have one necessarily. I heard anything over 18K on YouTube is pointless, but I don't know how true that is. You seem informed. I like it. You're building authority with me. Alrighty, sounds good. I'll test that and see. Any input on the other few issues? I'd be interested. Again, I want to test and make sure that you read everything else, and we'll go down that list before we move forward. Can you show me the layers you use for your widgets? Sorry, it's a lot of information, so it's hard to catch up on every issue as it's in-depth, but I am still going through it. Why the fuck are you talking to me then? Like, low-key, don't talk to me. Write them all down, take fucking notes, and then we'll go one by one. How about you finish reading everything? Because it could be that we talk about something later that makes everything before not fucking work, right? Anywho, that little pet peeve aside, let's go ahead and continue here. Sure. Do you want me to rearrange it like I had it while I was live or as it was set up for the screenshots? Again, trying to test and make sure that they look up and read everything. I'm going to reference screenshots so that they're forced to go up and at least look at the pictures and click on them, hopefully. Are you still having issues with the title, by the way? Ah, now I know that he's making his way down the list he's reading. Well, probably best if you arrange it the way you want to see it so that I can assist you with the issue you have. All right, cop out. I'm cool with that. I haven't done the tests they asked, but yeah, the title's just straight up never updated. And YouTube never even went live. Just made an event with the time being when I started stream and never did anything at all. Quite a few DMs from upset viewers about this. I mention the viewers every time because you guys are fucking my viewers with this stupid bullshit. Okay, if you could test what my other coworkers suggested before, that'd be great. Generally, good, you're reading. Generally speaking, YouTube titles should update you when you go through the process of going live. That's where you set the title. Even selecting an event already made would need the title updated when you're about to go live, unfortunately. Oh! I think this has been something our team has been working on for some time. Fascinating. Because the person who had been working since 2018, who's seen a lot of crazy problems, said that they never heard of that. The title's not updating? I can't say I've never heard of that. Titles? I've never heard of titles. Titles not updating. Interesting. Well, the guy with the Linux avatar, the epileptic penguin, says that this has been something our team has been working on for some time. It just straight up doesn't work. You just have to go into YouTube and edit it. Fascinating. Very fascinating. I'm pissed. Thanks.
Poa 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 poa.
Poa poa poa. Fua fua fua. I'm pissed. Okay? Okay. I can test Twitch exclusively, but not the multi-stream nor YouTube, since there is no way offline to do this, per what they said. And I put per what they said, because if that's wrong, the same way they were wrong about the titles, I would like to know. I'm going to keep that door open. Same way I kept the door open that I may be ignorant and incorrect. Other people are most certainly ignorant and incorrect. So I'd be happy to know if anything that they said was stupid and unfounded. Is what they said about the info from those tests only helping devs for future debugging true? Again, I need to test the shit that they said, because now they're just not telling me the truth, whether they mean to or not. If so, I'd forego them altogether, as they won't help me. Sorry for the delay on the screenshots. Now the app won't pick up video. The video in the background of the app just stopped working. All of it went black. And not only did I have to restart the app, remember when I said when you have problems with the app, it just never fixes itself? I had to restart my phone. And it had an update. So I had to wait for my phone to update because it was restarting. And then I had to open the app again. And when I opened the app, it deleted all of the assets and just reset it to 0. So I had to re-add my camera. I had to re-add everything and just put it all back together from scratch, because now it just deleted everything and thought that's the way I wanted it. Generally speaking, yes, our mobile app is still a work in progress that we will always be looking to improve. Developing for 2 major platforms also poses its challenges, as both Android and iOS operate differently, making even the most basic functions difficult. Clearly, you're having some difficulty with even the most basic of functions. You don't need to tell me that you're having a problem with that, because I'm very well aware of that shortcoming, we'll say. Okay, no problem. Yeah, it better be no fucking problem, because I've waited on you assholes for quite some time. Here we go. I set it up as best I could back to the way that I had it before, or the way that I really want it to be on stream, where the alert box only takes up that much space, the chat box that much space, the donegal that much space. Here's all the stuff. Here's the picture of my hairy balls. Just kidding. That's the inside of my hand. Don't TOS me. Okay, this looks fine. I saw before you had issues with the frame not going to the edge of the screen, even though in the editor it was there at the edge. Is this still an issue? Yes, and it's really random. Alertbox is the most notable culprit. Let me get you a timestamp from my VOD. Beyond the sizing issue, at one point, Alertbox just held a sub pop-up until another alert came in to clear it. To be perfectly honest, I wanted to cry after how badly this stream went. I did. And if I was eating my bolognese at home, I probably would have just cried. I would have. Because I was really, really hopeful that it would go well, that I would have just paid my thing, and if it didn't work, that I would be able to troubleshoot it with people, and then I would be able to be an IRL streamer and do IRL stuff. And I like shut down. You know how much hardware stuff triggers me. You know how much like I want to put on a good show for you guys, and I feel like I brought my A game in terms of like commentary and trying to do shit like that, and I was just constantly running against this roadblock of technical problems that really just feels like it's not fair. It's not warranted. Like they should fix this shit. This guy knows that these are problems. But yeah, I don't know. I felt really bad after the stream. I really thought paying for premium and setting up everything beforehand would solve these issues, but they just kept coming. While I do that, how does disconnect protection work? We haven't talked about that yet. We will right now. I enabled it, but still disconnected the stream and restarted. I still disconnected and the stream restarted, right? Created a new VOD, which really took the wind out of my sails about the feature. Yeah, an example would be great. Okay. Disconnection protection is basically if you lose connection to your Wi-Fi or if the stream has issues bad enough, our service comes in and keeps the stream up, but just on a be right back screen till you reconnect. Sometimes if your stream doesn't go into disconnect protection, it can be the cause of not having a proper connection to our servers, causing it to not kick in, essentially. So you're telling me that the feature designed to account for a dropping connection is reliant on a stable connection to your servers. Genius. Absolutely genius. Yes, of course. So when the connection drops, we go ahead and ask for a connection to our server, and if it's not there, then we don't do the disconnect. But brilliant. Now let's try to think of the scenarios in which I would lose my connection. It would be so bad I can't stream. You see what I'm saying? Fucking stupid. Are you kidding me? That's how it works? You may as well not have designed it. Oh man, I could create so many analogies to explain why that's so fucking stupid, but I won't because I value your intelligence enough to not fucking do that. Sometimes, if your stream doesn't go into disconnect protect, whatever, we read that, maybe the ingest server rearrangement may help. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't at all, because the purpose is when my connection is so slow the stream can't run, you're meant to put it to a be right back screen. So it's the whole purpose of it is when the connection is bad, it's meant to help me. You're saying it's dependent on a good connection to work. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not sure if the ingest server really explains why that wouldn't kick in, but perhaps it'd help more generally. You're right about that maybe helping with the connection, but that shouldn't be what helps the disconnect protection. Do you get any other complaints about it not kicking in? Really, the way the feature is described, any disconnect, even one due to the server ingest causing a prolonged response and subsequent timeout, should trip the feature. This sounds like it just doesn't work. If there's some other step beyond toggling it that I need to do that might help, again, open the door. Maybe there was a be right back screen I needed to set up. Maybe there was some kind of other hidden feature in the app. Maybe there was something like the server ingest. This person seems knowledgeable. Perhaps that there is something that I have missed. That's always the case. I always open that door. I don't know everything. I'm not a fucking know-it-all. There could very well be something that I'm missing, and I need you to tell me that because you are the expert. I considered doing a more complicated setup that has a similar feature to what yours is, and it wouldn't matter if the phone disconnected from the internet entirely. The point of the feature is to prevent the stream from dropping and resetting. No? Right. So disconnection protection is for the purpose of not kicking your stream offline. Okay, good. In terms of making sure it does kick into effect if you lose your connection, there won't be much steps in terms of making sure it happens, to be honest. Okay, so I did that right. Ignorance out of the picture. The feature is just a simple toggle, and because of that, doesn't have much more troubleshooting as everything is handled on the back end. Oh, you fucked it up. Interesting. Okay. If you have a few moments, would you mind testing with me to see what we could work out with Twitch more specifically, of course? Yeah, so this shit doesn't work, and it's probably a problem on our back end. I know you're not a test guy. You want to do a test, though? No, I don't. Fix your shit. Figure it out. I don't want to be a guinea pig. Testing the title thing. You're not asking me to, like, disconnect this and fucking help you figure out how to make disconnect protection work, right? We can test both the title and disconnection protection. For DC protection, we would simply want to turn off your Wi-Fi and it should kick into effect, or rather use airplane mode to check. He like fucking changed his mind in the middle of writing it, just didn't figure he would edit it. I would have just deleted all that came before and just put airplane mode. Someone's bound to fuck this up, but he doesn't seem to care about the technologically illiterate, right? Because if I turned off Wi-Fi on my phone and the disconnection protection would have never triggered because my mobile connection would have picked up and saved it, that wouldn't have worked. So maybe he should have deleted all that and put airplane check. But that's rhetorical critique. That's not what this stream is for. If it does not, we can try some steps and then report it to our... Again, with the fucking dev shit. I'm not even sure you have a fucking room full of devs somewhere. It might just be a bunch of fucking monkeys behind keyboards, dude, and executives counting money. Just make sure you have it toggled, of course. Okie dokie. So before that, any other input on the problems you read about? Because I'll be transparent in saying that if we don't have solutions to anything here, and I'm just running debug tests for your team, then I'd rather look at other options, honestly. The compounding of these issues is just too much, especially given I'm paying for the app and support. I'm pissed. In terms of widgets and the sizing of widgets, generally speaking, they will be pretty big. I'd make them pretty small to start, as generally the text will be big enough for the viewer to see. For them being different in the editor versus in the actual live screen, we're still working on making the images you apply go correctly to each edge, as this is an ongoing issue in the list of things to fix. The very placing of overlay items is a problem in the app. Sorry if I missed any other issues. If so, could you repeat them? A summary would do. I'm not going to read your stupid bullshit, bro. You had any other problems? You need to be specific. I'm not fucking going back and reading for like an 8th time. Really now? Okay. From 12:59 to 21:40, this sub alert was just stuck on the screen. In the same time frame, you can see that the bottom of the dono bar is cut off. Thoughts? I'm just gonna fucking do an open question. Are you gonna tell me that it's a problem? He already told me here. Are you gonna repeat that? I'm interested. What is your creative brain gonna come up with? Got it. Yeah, I see both. The easiest fix in the moment for the alert getting stuck would be to jump in the editor and toggle the eye icon when clicking the layer off and on again. This should fix it. Can you try using a simple alert box instead of the standard alert box and see if this... I pay for the fucking extra version of it. Why, when I pay for the extra version, do I need to reset everything to bone dead stupid version? I'm going mad. Let me check something as well. As far as the donation goal goes, can you see if the resizing the donation goal smaller causes the same issue? Do you use any custom CSS/HTML for your donation goal? Can you show me the settings from here? And I did. Went ahead and did that. Not that it mattered. I just have it on the default stuff, but there you go. All right. There you go. Okay, so for the donation goal, there's a minimum size it has to be in order for it to not be cut off. Oh! So you're aware of that. And presumably, Mr. Epileptic Penguin, if you're aware of that, so too would your support team of developers, correct? I had the same issue when making it too small in terms of height. Oh. And that minimum size is not shown anywhere in the editor for the creator to know what it is? You know what size it needs to be, and you couldn't program in simple requirements or boundaries on how big it could be or what you could set it to that would make sure that it fixed that ratio or wouldn't let people to minimize it smaller than it's allowed to be. You couldn't program that in? That's literally numbers and variables. I know very little about coding, but that would seem to be something very simple that the dev team could work on now. And if the dev team hasn't fixed this, then they haven't fixed titles, and they haven't fixed all the other problems they've talked about. I don't have a lot of faith in this app anymore. This is where I start to realize I'm going to have to make a stream about this, because this is fucking ridiculous. Let me see if there's a workaround. There shouldn't be a workaround. You should fix this. Your settings look fine. It wouldn't be, it's more of just you see thing where when you resize it. It wouldn't be, it's more of just you see thing where when you resize it, you can notice it's cut off too small. He fucking edited this and it still sounds like garbage. Jesus fucking Christ. I'll see if there's a workaround. But the issue is it looks fine in the editor and is cut off when you go back to the live view. That's the problem I described to the last person. In case you fucking forgot, the problem still is that even if it looked correct or I set the correct dimensions, there's no fucking promise from Streamlabs that that's the way it's going to look or the boundaries of it once I actually go to the live view. So it wouldn't even matter if I met the dimensions in the editor view because the live view may just go its own way, right? Yeah, I'm having the same thing. So let me look for a workaround. One moment. Okay, this should work. You can click Layer, Enable Advanced, then go to Height and Width to put in specific values, then hit Apply. Make sure it changes, then click the check mark top left and check your live screen. So, open up the advanced settings. Manually enter how big you want it. You can guesstimate it, right? You can look at the fucking pixels on your phone and just guess what size you want it to be. But don't trust that. Remember, go back to the live screen, which, may I add, there's always a menu in between the two of them. You have to hit back, you have to scroll back up, you have to hit live stream. Wait for it to load, wait for it to render, because that always takes a few seconds for everything to start popping back up on the phone screen. And then when it pops up and it's incorrect, you go back, manually enter the things again, and hope to God that it does it correctly the next time, and so on and so forth. I put 800 and 300 for width and height respectively, and it worked fine. I also tried 200 and 100, and it sized correctly and didn't cut off any elements. Let me know if this works for you. That works, but it gets thrown out of proportion when the scene flipped vertical and back to horizontal. So in the process of doing this on my phone, when it's flipped to the menu, I flipped my phone vertical. That was my first mistake. My next mistake was clicking the fucking live view and then proceeding to want to tear my fucking hair out at the changes that it made because I flipped the phone. And I literally did pull on my fucking hair, and I think I pulled a few of them out. Because at that point I say, I think I've hit my limit with troubleshooting for today. Because it's 11:29 and we started this at 8:29, 9, 10, 11 for the folks that don't be good at math. Okay. So I've hit my limit. All right. Let's find out where that is. I think I've hit my limit with troubleshooting for today, but thanks for your time. Is there a way to apply for a refund on the premium version, or am I just in it for the month? Definitely. I'm sorry about that. If you'd like a refund, you can submit a ticket here, and we can have our payments team. Let's hope the payments team isn't as bad as the dev team or the support team, or else I'm going to have a real fucking hard time. If there's anything else in the future you need help, please do let us know. Our mobile team is aware of these issues and are working towards getting them fixed. Sorry for the bad experience. Are you, though? And so then you go to this, and it's not even clear how you get a refund. There's no just like refund option like you would want. There's no cancel my account option like you would want. I won't even click it. I was going to click it and go through it with you guys, but I really don't care to. So I'm not a fan of Streamlabs at all. I'm not. I don't endorse using their stupid fucking app. If you are going to do IRL streaming and it doesn't work for you, you need to just make your own version of this. You really do. That's just the way. That's just the way. That is the way that it works. So there you go. I hope that was somewhat entertaining for you guys. I tried to see the previous stream, but there was nothing on YouTube, so that's why. That's why. Yeah, definitely refund that. Oh, I will be. I will be. Oh, sorry, I only do payments on the iOS version. God forbid he takes 2 minutes to raise the ticket himself. Yeah, I wish he would. I wish he would just ask for my email information and do the ticket, but no. Support doesn't work here like it does in other places. At Booksmarts, as the person that works with mobile development, I'm not going to comment on development team, but hey, that support sounds awesome. Funny, Michael. Michael with an L with a line through it. I'm assuming you're Polish. Have you tried paying for tech support? No, I think the company should have to pay for tech support and figure out how the fuck to fix their shit. Book said he would ban someone for 180,000. No, I said 200,000. And it'll be 400,000 soon. I wanted to raid on the Dylan Destiny bridge burning. What? Rage Pub just raided the channel with the... Oh, okay. Hi, Rage Pub. Sorry. We're having a fucking crazy stream today. This stream should have been running through the janky Streamlab app. That would be funny. Booksmarts moan the dono bar is too big, Streamlabs coon. I think he means he just reproduced the problem, not that he knew before. No, he said that he... you're full of shit. Sorry, dude. You kind of just got to feel it out. Sounds like you actually just pre-ordered the premium. You'd imagine the paid version would work and the free one wouldn't. Yeah, it's the other way around. None of the premium features work. And all the standard ones too. I did pay for this shit. I was this close to paying for the whole year up front. That's how fucking all in I was in fucking IRL streaming. That's how all in I was. I nearly fucking paid for a full year. I nearly did. Dylan and Destiny and Brenda Bridge, I have no fucking idea, dude. It's just people talking shit in chat. What is your plan for creating your own setup? Let me show you that next. That'll probably be good. And I'm going to hit you guys with the fucking 1 minute ad break, because fuck you. If you don't want to see it, you got to subscribe. Bloop. Let's see. It should be in my YouTube. History. Here it is. Okay. I'll bring that up for you guys here. No. YouTube 2. Excellent.
Whatever live.
This is what I'm going to do.
This is it, guys. This, I feel, will change the IRL streaming space as we know it. Until now, high-quality outdoor live streaming has been locked behind a huge paywall. If we just look at the total cost of an IRL...
Yeah, it's fucking expensive to do this. That's the other problem, is like, it's a lot to pay for the thing.
Heck. And then on top of that, all the monthly upkeep costs for their services...
So what Streamlabs does is they're like, oh, we're even less than the fucking, the monthly you would pay for the backpack. Set aside even the cost. Our app doesn't work, though.
And even multiple 4G connections. Yeah, good luck streaming without having a few thousand viewers just to cover the ongoing costs. But it's all about to change. If you want to stream from an event or take your audience on a bike trip while maintaining superb 1080p quality with great stabilization, stay tuned and watch how to build your own lightweight outdoor streaming rig that fits even in your smallest backpack. Let's go.
Lightweight, but kind of complicated, honestly.
Not only did we manage to match almost all the functionalities of the expensive IRL backpacks, but even heavily beat it in some categories. For example, image quality. We're talking crisp 1080p up to 60 FPS using about 30% less bandwidth. Oh, and the one thing that IRL backpack guys never mention is how heavy and bulky those setups are. Another great thing about our solution is that the software that we're using is 100% free, open source, and available on GitHub. Before we begin, I'd just like to give a shout out to all the EEE community members that made this possible. Most credit goes to Loopy, who led the charge on almost all the streaming software advancements we made in last year. If you'd like to join us and stay up to date with all the new updates, I've left the Discord link in the description. Alright, let's start. You have two main stream flow options when streaming outdoors. The first one is streaming straight from your device to Twitch or YouTube, whether it's a smartphone or a GoPro. That is what the streaming apps offer when you see stream to YouTube and similar. There's a lot of downsides to this, the biggest being when you lose connection, your stream completely shuts off.
And here, this information is what led me to call bullshit on the way disconnect protection was described by Streamlabs, where, well, if you lose connection to our server, of course we can't do that for you. You'll understand how this works, how it's meant to work, what it's meant to cover, and why Streamlabs' advertisement of disconnect protection, in my humble opinion, is like real fucking close to fraud. Like you're defrauding people. You're telling them something that's just simply not true. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as it's advertised to work, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Let's learn about it.
That's why all the IRL backpacks use paid services to keep your stream live while you're trying to reconnect. Second problem is that
Except you pay for them and they don't work, as I learned.
you most likely won't have any overlays on your stream, meaning no stream donations, live GPS, etc., except if you're using Streamlabs on your phone. The second option is streaming to a middleman server.
And sometimes you use Streamlabs on your phone, and they love displaying stuff so much they just make it stuck. Or they make it real fucking big, bigger than you even asked for. But we already know that, don't we, chat? We're informed.
For example, the home PC that you used to stream your usual content with. Your stream PC then takes your camera feed, applies whatever live overlays, custom EQs, and filters you want, and then sends it to Twitch or YouTube. The paid services do basically the same thing, but you have to pay ridiculous monthly fees to use those. Not only that, but you can't fully customize them, and they're often limited when it comes to quality options. The most important feature...
Now, mind you, I have an office still in California, where I am from. In case you didn't know, I'm not Polish. I'm not Mexican. Well, I am technically by blood, but not by living situation necessarily anymore. Anywho, I have an office in California with a PC that's just running, and I could easily send this to that PC. I could leave this laptop here hooked up to the Wi-Fi the way it is now and run it off of this brilliant solution. That's why I want to go with this.
Of using a middleman service is that your stream stays live even if your 4G connection dies. Your scene is automatically switched to some video clips, for example, while the audience is waiting.
Because you're only, for the technologically illiterate who may be lost, because all you're doing in this setup is sending video signal from your phone to your computer. Your computer is then looking at that as it would any other input into OBS. And if that input goes away, it's like unplugging a webcam. It doesn't mean the whole fucking stream crashes. What it means is that will go black until it receives feedback again from that thing. Otherwise, the connection is not being interrupted between the computer and the streaming server, right? Because your computer is still plugged in and it's totally fine. All that's lost is the video feed.
This is huge. The viewer drop-off is almost non-existent even though you're not live at the moment. For these reasons, we'll be building our setup using the second option, making our PC at home effectively a relay server. Not all is perfect. As with every budget solution, there are always trade-offs. The only major one here is using a single 4G connection, but we partially compensate by using a superior contemporary protocol. More on that a little bit later. Now, how do we do all of this? Let's start with the hardware. The camera. This is the only category.
So what he was saying there, to take out all the tech boogie fucking nonsense talk, is he's saying what sucks is the way that your phone will send that signal to your computer will still take up a lot of data. It needs a lot of bandwidth to send that signal across, especially at 1080p 30 or, God forbid, 1080p 60. That's still taking a lot of data. There's a way around that, and it's going to depend on how you encode all of that information that you're then sending to the computer. Now, normally, if you're sending directly to from your phone to the streaming thing is going to need an encoding whatever protocol, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We don't care because we don't care about jargon. That encoding protocol thing is not condensing that information enough. It's more like uncondensed and raw, because that's what the streaming service finds to be easier to digest and to turn into a live stream for people. But if we're sending it to a computer, we could send a different kind of encoding, which we'll get into in a bit.
Category you cannot save money on compared to the IRL backpacks, and that is because you're going to use the same devices. Now, of course, you could just stream with your phone. It's not the worst idea, and a lot, if not most people do that, but in the long run, this is not feasible. You can't do any action shots, it's hard to mount them, the stabilization isn't as good, and there's certainly a lack of wide and super wide perspectives. Not to mention that your iPhone alone costs at least $1,000, so we can't even treat it as a budget option. We want an action camera with great image stabilization. There's nothing worse than unstabilized footage. It just makes you sick while watching it. The camera also has to have 3 jacks, an HDMI out, a USB power jack, and a 3.5mm microphone jack. Believe it or not,
I already have this. I already have such a camera. And that's what makes the whole thing lovely. I don't have to spend money on the camera technically, because I already have one. And hell, if I look at the side here, we have all sorts of inputs and outputs and audio jack. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, I probably want a better one than this, but it can get started immediately because I have such a thing already, because my phone camera kind of low-key sucks.
This is a lot to ask from a compact action camera. hence the options are very limited. For the most part, it's just GoPro and Sony. I won't get into specifics on which device to choose in this video. We'll do that in another one. For now, let's say we'll spend $400 on the camera. For mounting the camera, you can use whatever you want. An easy solution for a bike stream would be a cheap chesty mount. They'll set you back about $10.
I already have a shoulder mount for the backpack, so I'm covered on that.
Next, we jump to the star of the show, the encoder. This is the TBS2603 SE, a super tiny beast of an encoder that takes the HDMI video and audio and encodes it with X265, also known as HEVC. It goes about $230, which is funny for how much value this provides. It uses up to 30% less bandwidth, meaning you can get the best looking stream footage possible without overflowing your bandwidth. The LiveView Solo, for example, can only do X264, which means it produces lower quality than the TBS actually. The problem with using X265 is that you cannot stream that directly to Twitch nor YouTube, as they don't fully support the new codec yet. But that's where the middleman stream PC comes into play, and I'll show you how we managed to deal with that in a bit. But how do you power this encoder? It doesn't have a battery, it only has a 5.5mm jack. Well, this is something that I've been experimenting with for a while, and I've found a very cool...
This is fucking crazy, what he's about to explain here. This kind of blew me away a little bit when I heard it. I'm just trying to bring up the chat on my phone so that I could see you guys, because I don't have my... I don't have a separate screen, and I kind of do want to know what you guys are saying about this, because if it is technically related, I would like to know. So if you sent something technically related that was a long paragraph Andy type thing, I didn't see it, but you could send it now and I will see it, okay? So if you want to interrupt this scheduled programming with some kind of stupid insight that you have, I would love to hear it.
Universal solution. You see a lot of devices like this work with 12-volt power. Your USB power banks typically output 5 volts. Now, in order to keep the form factor small and stay within a certain budget, it'd be convenient if you could use the normal phone power banks you have lying around. Well, you can. You just need the proper cable. This is a step-up cable of 5 volts to 12 volt.
I didn't know that this existed, but this is Pog. I used to shell out for this power bank that had one of these built into it. Basically, it had like a bunch of those different little like nipple jacks that you would use for laptops and stuff, and you would keep that around with you. It had its own box, and it had like a DC or whatever connection that was 2 little nipple jacks, and then you could replace the tip on one of the ends of it for whatever laptop you had. And that was awesome, but it just randomly stopped working like at 6 months after getting it. So the fact that this exists means I could just use anything that has the right amperage. Resend. Ooh. Book, are you looking for recommendations? Not particularly. And if you do, send them to email. Don't send them here because I will not remember. Looks like witchcraft. Good witchcraft. Yeah.
To be specific. Now, these cheap Chinese cables cannot handle much current, meaning they're only good for about 800 milliamps. Luckily, the max power of the encoder is only 6 watts, so we're within the cable's limits. However, you have to make sure that your power bank can output at least 2 amps at all times. Otherwise, it may not...
This is the kind of mathematics that I would have to ask some viewers about. So if I ever did this, if we meet the sub goal, which I think should be somewhere on screen, maybe over here or over here, not sure. If we hit that and then I buy all this stuff, I'll probably do it on stream so that I can have some engineering type people help me make sure that everything is rated properly, because otherwise I will start a small fire. They're called barrel jacks. Good to know. I'm going to call them nipple connectors. I think that's cuter.
Be strong enough. But again, most power banks nowadays can handle that. This is such a great hack that saves you a lot of money, space, and weight in the backpack. Because the alternative that almost all IRL backpacks have to use is this, a $135 12-volt monstrosity of a power bank.
Yeah, I used to have something like that.
You can't even take it on a plane because it's treated as a bomb due to its...
It's another problem with it. You cannot fly with that kind of shit, or you will get in a lot of trouble.
Capacity. Since the encoder needs an Ethernet connection, you'll need a 4G mobile router.
It's not on screen? Really? Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course it's not on screen. That's wonderful to know. Thank you for informing me before we had any sorts of weird issues. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Add existing. I added it to the wrong scene. That's my bad. There you go. Wow, we're already $53 on the way there. I think we'll hit that soon. I mean, 53 is, or 58? I don't know. I can't fucking read. 59? I need glasses like really bad. Yeah, that's already getting there. I'm happy with that because this is just meant to be a fucking mean stream. I have things to say about this, but we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk when I'm... that'll be soon. I'll see you soon, Zox. So basically my thing I told you about is the same, but without the expensive HEVEC encoder, so it has a bit lower video quality, but more flexible. Okay, we'll see how good your video quality is, and if it's not very good, I'm happy with shelling out for the expensive video encoder. So, you know, if you have like a battle-proven system that I just need to add a more expensive coder to, I'd be happy with copying your build and just doing that. You can continue to watch the rest of the video and look at the software options. I don't think you would know what the software stuff is doing because you're not using the more expensive encoder, and therefore probably don't have to deal with switching over the encoding, which is the step that I think the software is needed for, but we'll talk when we meet. Hey, Booksmarts, completely understandable if you don't want to answer this, or if it is completely out of place right now with the stream, but are you interested at all in Destiny acting like a moron on Dylan's stream right now? We'll look at that after. After this video, everybody's talking about it. We'll check it out. So have links ready, and I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I haven't seen... you know what? Is this like a right now thing? Is this really happening like right now?
Now, hold on. Not Samantha said some streamer is harassing her. But if Samantha said, you need to stop talking to Katarina this way or whatever. And
Prime guy sexually harasses staff.
There's like, no, I don't see how Prime could ever talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just wait for Samantha to give me that then.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. Cool. Oops. Let's go back to wherever we were. Where's our tab?
That has an Ethernet port. You can really use whatever model you want. I've happened to have my old TP-Link MR6400 sitting around, which is not even a mobile router. It's a home 4G router that doesn't have an internal battery. Luckily, we can just use the same trick as we did with the
This blew me away. This motherfucker just has a straight up like house router in his backpack and he's running it. That blew me away. I hadn't thought about like how much tech you could probably old laptop could not run the USB-C to do both power and video, but this one can because it's a fucking beast. Thank you guys for donating towards that. I do appreciate that. But yeah, now that I know that, that's one less cable I have to bring around, and that means I can have one more monitor on this computer, which fucking awesome. He'll figure it out eventually. Who will figure it out eventually? What happened? And we're back. Sound was off for 30 seconds. It's back now. Okay. Did you guys hear what I said about the monitor? Basically, the monitor can run off a USB-C only. That's it. That's it. Saved, muted, completely agree. Shut the fuck up, you assholes. Didn't buy the mic disconnection package. Microphone connection may be a little loose. It definitely is. It definitely is. Is it still off or are we good? You're fine? I hope I'm fine. Like, you're good? Okay.
Coder. This type of router was set.
Basically, seeing this, I think there's a lot more possibilities. By the way, I'm starting to get like RSI type problems in my wrist, and I need to like use a tablet instead of my, I don't know, I need to spend less time on the computer probably, honestly.
Back only about $80. But if you want the proper thing, check out the Netgear Nighthawk M1. The link's up here. Okay, so let's hook everything up. In order for the GoPro to stream for 5 hours straight, we need to give it an external power source. Another small power bank will do just fine.
Now, I'll be honest, I don't really...
As we did with the encoder.
I don't really get, like, does he plug a SIM card into this? Now I can ask questions I didn't understand when I watched the video. I understood the other stuff, so I can explain it to an idiot. I honestly don't understand this, so I can't. Does he put a SIM card in that thing?
This type of router will set you back only about $80. But if you want the proper thing...
Like, same with this? Do they just, like, put a SIM card inside of it? Why is it able to go so much faster than a phone? I don't understand that. Like, if you put a SIM card in it, wouldn't it be able to go as fast as, like, a phone? What makes it much faster? Aren't they, like, getting the same connection? Or is it, like, pinging multiple towers or something? I don't understand. YouTube can hear you. That'll be good. Yeah, that'll need a SIM card. Okay, like, but can you explain to me why that's faster? Like, what makes it faster? It might have nicer antennas. But I mean, like, are the antennas picking up like more than one tower? I don't understand why it's faster than a phone. It likely won't be much faster. Oh, okay. Then what the fuck is the point? Why don't you just have a phone? Like, I don't understand. Like if you told me something like, well, it connects to multiple towers and splits up your packages. 4G actually has a really high bandwidth. Oh, okay. The hardware of the router is more powerful than the phone. Yeah, but what aspect of the hardware? You can't just say the hardware. That's like saying because a router is stronger than a phone. Booksmarts. It's built out of stronger parts. That's all you're telling me with hardware. Like I need more specifics. I'm asking a specific question. Sound's gone again. I'm getting pissed. You can hear me now, right? Can you hear me now? This fucking mic, dude. And I spend money and then shit breaks. It's fucking annoying. And you know why my headphones aren't plugged into the bottom of this? Because it's also not I have to like pull the headphone cable to like make it work, and it's not a problem with the cable because it works perfectly in my laptop. So there's also a problem inside with the headphone jack. Are you gripping it too tight? No, it wouldn't make a difference. It's made out of solid metal. It keeps cutting in and out. All right, what's plugged into what here? What's plugged into what here? I fucking hate life. You know what? Cable. Should I get a new cable, chat? Will that maybe solve it? Finally caught up on stream. What an awful experience. Yeah, I know, it's fucking really bad. Should I get a different cable? I don't know why it would be cutting in and out. Seems like it's the mic cable. Okay, I'll go get another cable. One sec. Moshi moshi. 聞こえるか? Yoho. 聞こえるか? Can you guys hear me or no? Ayaya. Okay. Ayaya. That's what I'm looking for. So you can hear me okay. Let me know if it starts cutting out again. I was literally only doing that to see if I get ayaya.
Check out the Netgear Nighthawk M1. The link's up here. Okay, so let's hook everything up. In order for the GoPro to stream for 5 hours straight, we need to give it an external power source. Another small power bank will do just fine, as the GoPro doesn't require much power. Next up, we need to use a micro HDMI to HDMI cable. The cable goes from the GoPro to the encoder. The encoder then uses its Ethernet connection with the router to transmit the data to the PC at home. In case one of your devices doesn't power up, try reconnect.
Now there's one bit of cabling that I don't need, and that's going to be the power bank connected to the GoPro. I don't need that shit. I really don't think I do. I would just bring multiple batteries, and I think I like replacing a battery more. But that might fuck the stream, but I don't know. I think that's a bit much. I don't think I would stream long enough to need to recharge the GoPro, but I may be overestimating the life of a GoPro battery. I'm not sure.
The USB step-up cable, since the power banks tend to fall asleep, have not been used for.
Okay, I'm going to get back to reading my chat. The router is better than a phone because it has specialized power supplies and better antennas than a phone. Phones are made to be more handheld, so some features in their antennas. That's what I'm hearing repeated over and over. Does Book have the guitar sitting next to him, hoping to get Destiny to host him? That's clever. I hadn't even thought about that. The reason he needs a router is because that HVAC encoder only has an Ethernet port to... Oh... I can't wait to meet you. You're a smart fucking cookie. Look at the guy that knows what the fuck he's talking about, cuts through all this bullshit. Booksmarts, you're asking the wrong question. You don't need the router because of a better connection. You need a router because there's only an Ethernet output on the encoder. You're fucking smart. That's why I like you. I can't wait to meet you. I like that. You're smart. It also seems like you would need the router as the encoder doesn't... Ah, okay. Sir fucking copies everybody else a lot. Look, now Sir Callus Zenlot wants to fucking come here like, well, actually, Booksmarts, yeah, you definitely... Too late, dumbass.
For a while. That is it. That's all the hardware. Now the software.
That's it. Just 3 fucking power banks, 3 fucking cables, a HVAC encoder, a GoPro, a fucking router, step-up cables, and... I don't like that he, like, pretends like that's not a lot of stuff. It is a lot of stuff, but maybe not as much as other setups, but still it's like, it's a lot of stuff. I don't know.
What is that?
Aw, Amber, thanks for gifting a tier 1. Who'd you gift it to? You can get USB to Ethernet and it'll work with a phone, so no. Okay, smart ass. But I think, like, that's, I don't know, whatever, dumbass. My kit has less stuff and the cables are already a pain. Yeah, I think you really have to, like, make the backpack like it's standalone thing and just keep it permitted. I think that's why the streaming backpacks are a thing, because if it's all just, like, built in and not replaceable and hot swappable and whatever, then maybe it's less of a fucking mess, but I can imagine it's a goddamn mess. I think you want to cable manage it one time and then figure out a way to make that hot swappable or just have it stuck to the bag, which I can definitely do, because you know what I brought with me? I brought a suitcase on top of a... You guys, by the way, are on a chair on top of my suitcase. In case you wanted to know what your people body is today, you're on a chair on top of a suitcase. But I brought my suitcase, which had 2 backpacks in it, my camping backpack and this backpack. I could turn this backpack into a streaming thing and just take out the batteries when I walk around, and then it'll be less heavy. So I think I'll just build the batteries into this backpack, like sew them the fuck in, and be done with the entire excursion, honestly. What's up, Bookie? You should get a whole camera crew. Yeah, maybe when I'm rich and famous. It's okay. I'll get him back when I see him in Belgium. I don't want to hear about getting me back. Tag yourself. I'm the sock in the left suitcase. Yeah, maybe.
Will not be using RTMP.
Actually, joke's on you. I don't have any socks in that suitcase. All of my socks are on like a drying rack right here that I'm lazy as fuck. Like, hold on. People that live in 2nd and 3rd world countries, can I talk to you for a second? I hope you speak English. It is the language of the world. Why the fuck? How the fuck? Like, laundry must take you 10.5 years when you don't have a dryer. You have to, like, individually, every wet article of clothing, finagle your arms to, like, where the drying rack pins need to go. And then you need to, like, somehow hold the clothes while, like, you get the pin where it needs to go, the clip thing, and then you clip it, and then you have to be careful, because if you just let the clothes drop before you put the second one on, they'll fucking fall to the floor and get dirty, and then the whole process is fucked. And you usually do this outside, so it will fuck up your clothes. And then you need to put the second one on, then you need to pull in to make sure it's straight and it won't get fucked up. And, like, and you have to do that for every single bit of clothing. Fuck that. And then when they're done, you have to unclip them all and do the same procedure in reverse, but very carefully, because again, if you drop the clothes, they're fucked. Like, dude, fuck that. Like, with my underwear, I don't even clip them. I just throw them over the line. I just put the waistband over the line and hope to God there's not a breeze hard enough that I lose a pair of underwear. And in that case, I just buy new ones. Like, that's why, like, I'm lazy as fuck. I just brought the whole thing in and just, like, keep them clipped, and I use it as if it's, like, a mobile closet. But fuck that, dude. I don't know. It seems like a lot of fucking hassle. Washers and dryers are marvels. We should be thankful. Yeah, imagine not having a washer. That'd be fucked. You don't hang your clothes in the U.S.? No. Everybody has a dryer in the U.S. Or you go to a fucking laundromat where they have a dryer for you. Even in Mexico, dude, like, you don't fucking wash and hang your clothes. You go to a laundromat. You pay fucking pesos to put it through a dryer, because ain't nobody got time for that, you know? Like, I don't know. This is really fucking stupid. Like, if you're going to have a washer, you may as well pay for a stacked up dryer. I don't know why you wouldn't just get both. Like, get an electric dryer. I do that. Lol, I wouldn't. The real question is, why does Booksmarts hold a mic in his hand where you could just use a headset? Because I paid a lot of money for my mic and I'm going to use it, and I think headsets are trashy. I don't have a dryer and never use pins. Okay, what do? Do you just blow on your clothes? That's why you have cleaners. They are cheaper than washers. Okay. I haven't used clothespins in forever. Just hang them over the line. Okay, so good to know it's normal to just hang them over the line. I felt like I was a lazy fuck. Also, it leaves a line in your shirts when you hang your shirts over the line. I think with underwear it's fine. With socks it's fine. But with pants it's probably fine because they have a waistband as well. But with shirts it'll leave a line in them, and I don't like that there's a line in them. So I kind of want to hang my shirts. I walk around in damp, moldy... Oh, that's how you get around it. Air drying clothes is also better. It doesn't feel like it's better for the clothes. I'll be real with you. Unless you put fabric softener in, your clothes feel like disgusting. They're hard. They're fucking all fucking crispity. They're not soft. They're abrasive. If outside there's dust, you start fucking sneezing because it got dust and debris and whatever the fuck else decides to crawl up into them while you leave them outside. No, I'm not convinced it's better for your clothes. Maybe if you have some fucking cashmere sweater or some bullshit, but like for normal fucking shirts and shit, I doubt it makes a ton of difference to dry it. You might be able to show me an experiment where over the course of like 200 washes, there's a huge difference between those that were put in a dryer and set to the right settings, mind you, because setting them to the right settings makes a world of difference with the dryer. But I don't think it's significant enough to care about to make it worth fucking hanging them all up individually. I really do think that doesn't make sense. What about putting shirts on a hanger to dry them? Yeah, you could do that. That would be much smarter. I don't have enough hangers to do that with. I only have clothespins. I'm not buying hangers solely for that purpose. You leave a line on the shirts versus spend hundreds of dollars on the big-ass machine. Your time is clearly not worth a lot to you. Nor is like aesthetic. I don't know. I think the perfect place between time, aesthetic, and money is to pay for a dryer. And normally you can get them for much cheaper than hundreds of dollars. People have dryers they want to throw out all the time. You can fix dryers that are broken. Just get a fucking... Like, if you're in a country where you're really sweating over spending like a few $100s on a clothes dryer, you're probably in a country where you could also pay to get the fucking dryer fixed. and you could go through like multiple dryers until you find one that you can get fixed, and then it's worth it. You know, like there's free shit that people put out all the time, or there's Craigslist, or there's whatever the fuck the equivalent is in your country. Like, I feel like there's ways to get your hands on cheaper dryers, honestly. I never had a dryer. What sort of magic is that? It's big time magic, bro. The big machine saves you so much time. It really does. Well, the bonus is after you dry shirts in a clothes hanger, you leave them on the hanger to store them. Yeah, I see that. It's very clever. Some people make their own ice cream. Some people hang their own clothes. I don't think it's a big deal either way if you have the time. I just think it's a stupid way of spending your time. You at least get some kind of skill out of learning to cook or making ice cream or doing things like that. I think it's ludicrous to compare that to hanging clothes. But yeah, if that's the pastime of some people, I most certainly am going to judge it. You may have your own pastimes, and you can believe that it's interesting for you to do just as equally as I can think you're stupid for doing it. We're both entitled to our own opinions. That's the lovely thing about America and the world. We can all just think whatever we want, depending on where you live.
Your everyday streaming protocol. It's just not stable enough for a hectic 4G connection. We've been trying and trying for months to make it as smooth as possible, but in the end, we have...
Okay, time to debunk bullshit. Booksmart's houses are smaller in most parts of Europe than over in the Americas. So the problem is also about how much space the machine takes up. The vertical space, again, that's why I mentioned stacking. Hey, ain't on. That's why I said stacking. You're not using the space above your fucking washer most of the time. You need it to fucking open the stupid thing anyways. Get a stacking version. Like, this isn't really against the point. It's just prolonging the inevitable of catching up to the rest of the world on modern washing and drying practices. It's like saying, I don't want to have a vacuum cleaner. I'd rather fucking sweep, because where am I going to put the vacuum cleaner? Okay.
Had to give in to something that is more fit for the task. I present to you the Secure Reliable Transfer Protocol, or SRT. Man, they really nailed it with the name. I won't go into the specifics right now, as I'll make a dedicated video to cover the whole setup and settings, but in short, the protocol is made specifically for streaming in variable conditions, ensuring the best quality and stability possible. It does come with a few downsides. It's not trivial to set up if you're not tech savvy.
On a side note, I've always wanted to do this kind of like rally racing stuff. It looks so like energizing. I don't know. It seems like it would be a fun thing to be in the passenger seat for.
And you cannot use it to stream directly to Twitch or YouTube. It's new and still being developed, unlike RTMP that has been abandoned for years. Again, I probably wouldn't figure this out if it wasn't for my community members, and if you guys need help setting this up, feel free to come by our Discord server and ask anything in the channels there. Looking forward to seeing your setups. Back to the topic. Here comes OBS to the rescue. You can receive and play SRT streams perfectly fine, even the X265 encoded streams. Now we want to add the overlays, apply filters, and send this to Twitch or YouTube. But before we do, we need an automatic scene switcher. Here's where we're using our own homemade solution, Loopy's SRT stats monitor, and we made it open source and available to everyone. The solution deserves a dedicated video, but in short, it automatically monitors the status of the inbound stream, actually 2 of them if you have another camera, and switches scenes accordingly. If there's no reception from any of them, it switches to an intermission scene where you can have a video playing to keep the audience entertained while you're busy desperately trying to find the 4G. Remember those services that you had to pay $200 for? Yeah, you get that for free now. If you want to control the scenes manually, you can set up a WebSocket server within OBS and access your scenes through your phone's browser. It works extremely well and is very handy. One last thing you might have to do is port forwarding both for the website.
Hold on, what?
Through your phone's browser.
That's so fucking cool. Bruh. That's brilliant. That's basically like the Stream Deck thing. Okay, that's cool. Wow. Okay, I'm pogging off. F? Wait, is it F for everybody else as well? Or is that one person about to get a fucking ban? No?
Works extremely well and is very handy. One last thing you might have to do is port
Oh, now you can hear me. So this mic is fucked. This mic is just completely fucked. Unfortunate. And it looks like it's really quiet compared to normal. It's the laptop? How do you know it's the laptop, though? Because it could very well just be this microphone. It's very quiet now. You sound awful. Fuck me, dude. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, you and me. Testing, testing, 1. Oh, it's so quiet. What the fuck? I'm not coming through the laptop mic. The laptop doesn't have a microphone, dumb fuck. Shit. Oh, it's not even picking it up properly. Look, when I... Oh, you know what it's using? It's using the webcam microphone. That's what it's using. It needs to not do that. Yeah, it needs to not... But, oh, there we are. You know what? It could be that when this is disconnecting, when this microphone is disconnecting, now I'm like really loud, aren't I? Or am I like not very loud? We can still hear it. It's coming through. Yeah, it's coming through the webcam. We've already discovered that. Can still hear when I'm plugged. Yeah, I know, because it's coming through the fucking webcam. We already figured that out. It sounds kind of bad. Yeah, it should. I don't know why. Okay, how about now? It should be a little bit better now. Man, still sounds like a different mic. It shouldn't. Yeah, because it's not, oops, I'm a dumb fuck. Yeah, normally it would tell me that it's using, wow, this mic is just busted, dude, unfortunate. ATR. Okay, now it's recognizing the right thing. Wonderful. And it looks like it sounds better. And if I turn this up, then we're perfect. Okay. Wow. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this shit. That's really unfortunate. Sounds good again. Yeah, it should sound good again. The waveform or whatever, this thing looks a lot better. Jesus Christ. What is up with this microphone, dude?
Forwarding both for the WebSocket server.
I really hope it's not breaking on me.
You're going to need about 3 to 4 ports total. There's plenty of guides for that online, but also covered in some other video.
The port forwarding may be the only problem working with like Airbnbs or working like mobilely with other people's setups. But if I keep the office in California and I set up port forwarding on that computer, we should be fine. Ports on computers wear out as well. This is a brand new fucking computer, dude. Oh, thank you, Vels. You say it nicer than me. Can someone let me know why I should care about Afghanistan? Okay, hey, Toastmaster. Hey, Vels, your first opportunity as a moderator. Swing the sword for me on my behalf. 200,000 seconds to Toastmaster. He's gone. 200,000 seconds. You heard me right. Actually, you know what? If you haven't done it yet, make it 400,000. That's a stupid fucking remark, and I don't want to hear it out of this person for another however many days that is. Does Streamlabs have any known CIA connect? Okay, bro.
There we go. That is how you make your own customizable IRL streaming setup that will not slaughter your...
I love you, Booksmarts. I love you too, random chatter. Yeah, you can use OBS WebSockets to start and stop streaming everything. It's really useful. Only thing that's lacking is that I haven't found an app that can change filter settings. Interesting. Literally 1984. Literally timed out for 5 minutes. Sorry, Gus. You're a good friend of the channel, but If I have to hit one person, I have to hit everybody.
bank account. And you can use anything you already own and build around it. Full
GG. Look who's back, Cyberlink Quay. Better tread carefully, my friend.
list of the gear used will be in the description if you're curious what exact devices and cables I'm using. I'll definitely be posting more on this topic, in-depth videos on each little category. So please hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you think of all of this. Maybe this is your year for a breakout in the IRL streaming scene. Summer's coming, so hurry up, get that setup running. You can also catch me live on Twitch, links in the description below. That's it.
You know what? Let's give this lad a follow. He's doing God's work out here. He's got a pretty microphone. Twitch.tv/Spreezy. Give this fella a follow.
Hey, and welcome to my...
Was he live right now? No? That's weird. It just skipped his channel intro. Whatever.
Not sure where to go.
We'll go to your stream, buddy. That's where we'll go. Great stuff. Great stuff. Really like it. So yeah, when I go to Austria, you guys don't know this, but when I go to Austria, one of the viewers there who is in the chat quite often and keeps referring to themselves, the XOX Foxy person, they said that they have a live stream like backpack there that I could probably use or test out around the city. And obviously we're very keen on that. That'll be a good like run of this technology to kind of learn more about it and to play around more with live streams. So I look forward to that. And I will be in Vienna starting on the 24th of August. That's the plan right now. Now, Auschwitz, the Auschwitz part of this Poland trip is likely not happening, unfortunately. However, what is fortunate is I've worked out this weekend I'll be going to... Where am I going to? What is the name of it? I think it's Poznan. I think we'll be going to Poznan this weekend. And then after that, which will be fun, I might be doing some urban exploring. I get some behind-the-scenes insights into a museum there because this person's mom works there. I'll have a lovely couple who have offered to show me around and stuff. So looking forward to that. That'll be kind of fun. And then Vienna, hardly knew but yeah, so after that's done, then I have like 2 days of break, and then I will take I might fly. No, I probably need to take a bus. I'll take a bus all the way from Warsaw, Poland to Vienna, Austria, and then spend a few days with the viewer there, spend another few days with XOX Foxy and his lovely mother, and then from there we'll probably go to, where was the plan? Switzerland, that's right. We will be going to Switzerland after that. Very pog. Very excited for that part of the trip. Now, if that fella in Switzerland is a serial murderer, you will not hear from me again. He has assured me that he has no criminal record. He's a clean boy who wants to be a diplomat and yada, yada, yada. But if he is a killer, he keeps getting away with it. So I will just disappear. And if I disappear, it's that motherfucker's fault. So just bear that in mind. But assuming he's not a serial killer or he has the, the courtesy of just waiting until I'm able to do a stream about him, we will talk to him and talk about the trip there, talk about the things we're doing. I'm really going to prioritize going out and enjoying myself and enjoying the country and experiencing it and giving him my undevoted attention. So that may mean that I don't stream everything, but if during my trip in Vienna with XOX Foxy and company, I think Vampire as well from the chat, who you guys may recognize, if during the time I spend there, I'm able to work out IRL stuff, maybe even set up like a new IRL setup with XOX Foxy, and we save up for that with the donation goal, which is right here. So that can really help to pay for that. If you guys want to see more IRL content, more like walking around Vienna, which is a super old historical city, stuff like that, it's not free. I unfortunately have to buy more stuff. But it gives us a purpose for the stream. It gives a purpose to the money that I'm earning and for the money that I'm saving, quite frankly, because I'll be staying with viewers for at least the next like 2 weeks after I'm done here. And that saves me money. Granted, I'll be drinking, I'll be eating, I'll be doing stuff that costs money. So it's not like it, whatever. But the accommodation is like a huge cost, and I don't have to worry about that because viewers have been kind enough to offer to host me. And so we'll be doing that for a while. May go over to Scandinavia after that and do a Scandinavian part of the trip. We'll see. And that's the same kind of plan. Hopefully I'll be hosted. And that money will be going to exactly this. I really want to be able to do IRL streams. I think if a lot of my life is based around travel and meeting cool viewers and stuff, which I definitely want to do more of, then I want to have a setup that enables me to really capitalize on that and bring you guys along for the ride, you know? Like, here's something emotional. I was looking at some of the old garage streams, and it reminded me of like what the purpose of like gaining some sort of success on this platform is, and it's to bring you guys with me wherever I go. So I brought you with me to my office when I was doing well and I was an essay writer. I brought you with me to the garage when I wasn't doing well and I broke down and was having a hard time in life. I brought you with me to Mexico when I was piecing it all back together. I brought you to here when I started doing much better for myself and, you know, was able to afford trips to places I've never seen before. I brought you with me to places I've never seen before, like the Science and Cultural Center. And I want to continue to bring you guys with me wherever the stream takes me, because a huge part of my success is you guys and your charity and your donations and your general support, whether that's super nice emails or donating to the channel or subbing or just chatting, just being there, just being one of the people that is in the messages that fly by, you know, or now people that host me, people that go out for drinks with me, people that teach me their language and share with me their culture and introduce me to their friends. And, you know, that's huge, you know, that's big as well. And that's a kindness that I want to capitalize on, not just for myself, but for the stream and for all the people that make that happen. I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for you guys. You know, if stream hadn't done financially better at the right time, I probably would have gone back to being an essay writer when the schools opened up again, you know, like, and then who knows how different my life would be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I would be doing. But I'm doing this. I'm here in Europe. I'm here in Warsaw. I'm here in Poland for no good reason at all. Like, you know, and so I want to make better about that, about my position. A bit of doxing. Not doxing, just like insight into private conversations. So I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the stream that one of my commissioned clients, which if you didn't know, you can do !work or just email me, booksmarts.twitch@gmail.com. You can always commission my advice or my help or my reviews if you have a debate you did or communication problem or life advice, shit like that. You want help with that, email me. This person, like, they basically do Bible study at a church. The long and short of it, and they want help with like exploring passages in a way that people aren't used to and making them comfortable with that. And you know, one of the passages that we were talking about and looking at today talked about how oh man, I'm gonna have to bring it up in front of me actually, because I really don't want to get it wrong. I really don't want to get it wrong, because the Bible is not something I think that you should misquote. A lot of people make a lot of, you know, hoo-ha off of misquoting the Bible, so I will try not to be one of them. So this is the parable of the sower, and if you hate Bible shit, you can get out. It's what you can take from the Bible or the Torah or the Quran or things like that, or the Bhagavad Gita, whatever religious text you want to look at. What you can get out of it is separate from the religion itself. So that same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, quote, a farmer went out to sow his seed, so to put seeds on the ground. Then he told them many, as he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. As he was scattering the seed, some fell, some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. The disciples came to him, to Jesus, and asked, "Why do you speak to people in parables?" Good fucking question. We're still kind of wondering about that. Jesus replied, quote, because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have, will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing they do not see, though hearing they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing but never understanding. You will be ever seeing but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become callous. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and in turn, I would heal them. And part of the kind of theme here comes back to this line, because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, which, you put aside Jesus-y shit, because of this awareness, because of this gift, has been given to you but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. So the people that have a lot can get a lot out of that. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken away from them. So for the people that don't have this gift of understanding, or don't take it upon themselves to get that gift of understanding, even the things that are around them will be spoiled, will be tarnished. And you could read this in a lot of different ways. It's part of the fun of it. And I think that, like, thinking to, like, the gifts that I have around me, they're squandered if I don't have a realization of the potential of those or the purpose of those. And I think that, like, finding that purpose and realizing that purpose and then putting those gifts to work is what I need to do, or I squander them all together. Like destiny. I'm not Christian, so I can point fingers and be a dick and be judgmental. When I asked Destiny what he did during his 3 months in Warsaw and what kinds of recommendations he would have for visiting and looking at things around the city, he told me that he spent most of his time at a food court in the mall. And so he had nothing to say about it. Destiny had everything, and he squandered the potential of what he had, right? It wouldn't matter if he had all the time in the world or whatever. He's just, like, not using it, you know? And, like, if I have all this potential, if I have people in my emails who want to hang out with me, and I have, like, people that want to support me, and I have the financial means to continue doing this, and all of this stuff, I don't want to squander that, right? I want to make use of that. I want to realize that I have this ability and to act upon it. And I need to have, like, an open heart for that. And I need to, like, be willing to accept those gifts and make use of them, and not, you know, otherwise all that will fall to the wayside. It wouldn't matter if I had a bunch of people emailing me if I didn't respond to everybody, if I didn't manage my time better and get them responses and plan things with them and put in the dates and create the itineraries and all that other stuff. You know, so I think it's important to, like, not squander that stuff. That may not be exactly what's being said in the whole of this, like, Matthew 13, but it got me thinking about, like, squandering gifts. It got me thinking about this prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing but never understanding. You will be ever seeing but never perceiving. I don't want to squander, like, my abilities, my mental abilities or whatever, to, like, not appreciate the things that are around me and to not use the gifts that I've been given in a good way. So, you know, that got me thinking about that. Whoever has will be given more is the same as what's the parable of the talents, which I always took as a threat, a statement of fate. You're blessed, you're cursed. This is so much better. We can remedy it. Yeah. So, you know, and like, if this cringed you out, or you're still kind of averse to it just because it came from the Bible, you know, I don't know. I get it. I was like that too at one point, kind of just grossed out by religion in general. But I think I don't know. It's very sad to me because again, to get back to this, I think you're squandering things that are given to you, you know, but at the same time, part of the purpose of the beginning of this, when Jesus is talking about the seeds that he's putting everywhere, you know, like, if it falls upon rocky soil, it's not going to be able to take off, you know, or if it does take off and doesn't take root, there's no point, you know, that's failure in its own way as well. Or a bird comes and takes it, you know, like you just don't happen to have a chance at all. Like you never watch the stream or whatever. You never actually get to have the thing. It's never realized. Or it falls and grows in a place that's covered by thorns, right? So you grow in an environment that will just never allow it to happen, right? Maybe you've had shit that's happened in your life that means that you'll never ever be able to kind of take this in, you know? There will always be people and things telling you that you shouldn't listen to this, that, or the other thing, or you should disregard this, that, or the other thing. And so it'll never, ever have a chance to take off, even if it's starting to develop in you, or even if it's something that's starting to take root, or that you're understanding it or whatever. So, you know, some people are doomed, you know? So, you know, not every message that's profound is going to make it to everybody and have the effect that it could have. Sometimes it falls on rocky soil where it takes off and you think that you get it in the moment and you forget it for the rest of time, right? It's a short-lived thing. Other times it grows up in a place where it's just doomed to fail from the start. It's advice that you will never be able to kind of act upon because it's something that's just not possible in your life, you know? But when it falls on good soil, you're going to get like a ton more out of that thing and you can spread it to more people. Like one thing that I liked in this and that I brought up to him was line 8, where they say, still other seed fell on good soil where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. And I thought that the symbolism here was interesting. I wasn't sure if it was intended that, like, instead of Jesus talking about, like, because he's talking to farmers and other people that would understand crops and what the point of them are, instead of talking about how big the plants would grow or how well they would grow, he talks about, like, the relationship between what was sown and what was received. And you're getting seeds back, and those seeds could be used, sure, for, like, whatever you turn them into, whether it's food or whatever. But at the same time, you could use that seed to then sow more. And I think that, like, if you're like an evangelist, then maybe you view that as like, once you discover these lessons and these teachings and they take root, you could share them with many more people. That got me thinking about my stream too. Like, maybe when I'm having good times, I can share them with you. When I'm having bad times, I can share them with you, right? Like, and I'm able to take this thing that I learned, or to take a lesson that I got, or to take a fun thing that I experienced, and I'm able to share it with tons and tons more people. That because it took root in good soil in me, I was able to then share that with many more people. Like, the return on that is much greater. And so, you know, I don't know. I had a very good, that's why I was saying earlier at the beginning of the stream, we would come back to this, the positives for the day. That's where I really want to leave it off on, because I had a really good couple of hours, both reading and taking notes about Matthew 13, and then speaking with that client about it, and helping him with communicating some of these ideas or getting a fresh perspective on them. And, you know, I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy a lot of my commissioned work. I don't think there's been a single bit of commissioned work, especially lately, that I just haven't enjoyed or that I've wanted to reject or something. It feels really good to give back in that way, and to make money not doing goofy streams and stuff, and to, like, really feel like I'm having a personal impact on people and I'm really, like, able to help them. A story that has a good lesson shouldn't necessarily be thrown away because it came from a bad source. True. Jesus is chill as fuck. Also true, I hear. Except when he gets a whip in his hand. Not that the Bible is a bad source, but you know what I mean. I get you, bro. Booksmart soil is the best soil. Very fertile. Yeah, okay, bro. What did we get into? Bible devotional? I'm here for it, but a little surprised. Yeah, it's just like, I was like relating what I'm doing in my private life to stream in some way, because that's how I spend my time, you know? And if there's something I get out of my private life, I want to share it with you. Like, next time we have a stream, I have a bunch of notes about Better Call Saul, which is a TV show on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It's about the lawyer from Breaking Bad, if you remember Breaking Bad or you've heard of that. You don't necessarily need to have watched Breaking Bad to watch Better Call Saul, but I would highly recommend Breaking Bad. It's super good if you haven't seen it. And then I've also, I've binged a lot of this. You're going to be surprised. I'm up to like season 4 or 5 of Peaky Blinders. It has inspired me to be more honest with the people I'm working with and to try harder at being organized and like making good on the things I want to do in business. And, you know, I think that there's interesting themes and stuff to talk about there in terms of like, how do we deal with grief, or, you know, like, I don't know, it's dense. I kind of like it. At the same time, romance is not my thing, so I'm not into that aspect of it. But you know, that's another interesting one. I've been enjoying watching that. So yeah. Anywho, you know, that's ending it on a happy note. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I'm gonna find a place to put the Twitch folks for the night here. And again, if you're interested in this this parable thing, I'm gonna like end it with Matthew's, I think this is Matthew, but it's in quotes, so it might have been Jesus. I'll end with Jesus, I assume it was Jesus' explanation of the parable, because I think that it was helpful, like, to summarize it. So what this motherfucker did, what this client did, and I say motherfucker in like the nicest way, because, you know, I don't mean that at all. What he did to kind of force me to think more about it is the quotes that he gave me in the email did not include Matthew 13 lines 18 through 23, which is the explanation from Jesus about what he means about the parable. Instead, I had to like agonize over what does he mean by this? What is the messaging here? So Jesus says, "Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path." Right? So that's the bird. The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. So somebody that hears it, they feel like, oh, I totally understand it. Yeah, this is great. Oh, I'm fucking saved. I'm fucking blessed. I fucking understand everything. I am the end all be all. I'm saved, whatever. And it's on rocky soil. The seed has sprouted, but it will never take root. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a short-lived experience. And then 21 says, "But since they have no root, they only last a short time. They last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away," right? The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worries of his life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it untruthful. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown, right? And part of what we talked about as well is that you can't know in the immediate following of receiving any of these teachings which of those seeds you are. I may feel like it had a profound impact on the way I interact with you guys, but it could be that a week from now, that's not the case anymore, right? I totally forget about it. In order for it to be something that took off, you have to give that plant time to grow and time to reach harvest, right? It needs to finally produce and make good on that, which is why I'm trying to stream and bring that up to you guys, because maybe I could do that now. Maybe by doing the stream now and by talking about it, it can plant those seeds in you guys, and then I've made good on it, right? Or I can continue to do this, continue to plan for these IRL streams, continue to do the stuff that I think is significant, and in that way, I'm not the seed that fell on rocky soil that sprouted and then died immediately. I'm the seed that actually took root in some good-ass soil, and I was able to provide for the future. So that's where I'll end it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to send you over to Dylan Burns.
I wanted to get paid.
Because it seems like he's going through drama and everybody wants to watch that. So I'll send you guys over there. I think that's probably what you want me to do, right? Unless you guys have any other ideas. Lesson: change the ground, weed the thorns, decompose plants to create soil where there is nothing but rock. Into the thorns. Yes, into the thorns, my friends. Nothing is sprouting up there, and if it does, it ain't lasting long. So have fun, guys. Hope it was good. Hope you enjoyed it. Ah, damn, I just got here. You're in for a world of fun. I would watch the stream. I was just ranting about this awful thing. You're going to enjoy it. So if you're barely picking up on the stream now, highly recommend going to the YouTube and rewatching it. Anyway, let me go ahead and start the raid here. Where do I go for that? Maybe this one or this one. Streamlabs mic issues Bible study. Basically, yeah, that'll be the timestamps. I have some final words I want to say to my YouTube people, and then I'll let y'all go. So hop in. Bye, everybody. Bloop. There go all the Twitch people.
At least do the whole thing. That type of stuff happens after usually the.
I don't know where that noise is coming from. Bloop. Okay, guys. I promise after the Dylan stuff is done, I will catch up on it, but you need to go into the Discord and give me some TLDR because I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. And if it's something lame, I don't want to watch it. Give me a TLDR in the Discord, put it in the stream discussion or put it in drama. I'll go there right now and I'll look into it and then we'll figure out what we want to do about that. I heard that there was another debate between Dylan and somebody about Afghanistan, and I wanted to cover that as a formal debate review and to do it really, really quick. But, you know, if drama is the better thing, then drama is the better thing. But, you know, just keep me posted and I'll talk to you guys later.